has Darion improved throughout this game? Matured is the most important thing. Many doubts cast upon this man when he came in on that roster, when they still had Pyth, when they still had Maxi.
Hello, bro!
To make way for a new wave.
Yeah, he had those stages where he improved himself. Later on in the year, he was one of their most consistent players.
Gacor banget.
Just to allow Juicy the frontline reigns. Jemkin though leads the charge. This is where Scars is strong, straight for three. But Crazy Guy again, the timing is perfect, and just the way that he's able to open that doorway from afar. Throws
seru banget ini, seru banget ini parah.
He's got like 3 arrows to throw just to open it. He can even use an out drone if he gets the timing on it too, just off of the dart. So lots of ways to
Ascension Pro, makasih udah join member. Lagi, welcome back.
Off of his Sova pick, we gain prevalence too. The flank here is what Bleed are putting attention towards, and Scary off the double peek, they get the kill.
Yeah, and they can pick up a rifle now. Give it to Darion especially.
Entar si Po mau announcement gak jadi anjing, kurang ajar anjing. Kick.
Still trying to hold from Sands, reinforcements
still arriving
here. Scars.
Jangan absen lagi nonton ya.
Timing from Crazy Guy even better. Toroneko was waiting for it. Crazy Guy answers back even more so. The shock dart even. Crazy Guy.
Gelo.
Just
Gelo kieu, guys.
Angles. Measures these oppositions, and he finds any kind of opportunity to work with.
Crazy Guy, absolutely insane. Let's not forget, this is not the first time he's played internationally, Dax, in terms of playing on another team. We saw him on that former NGX roster, and the things he's been able to do on this Sova within 3 rounds. Incredible so far.
Pusing, ya Allah, badan gua rungkat.
You just know now how to play Sova on Fracture 101. Bleed has sized up the competition, and well, they have the right assessment so far.
Oke, adik-adik, balik lagi ke streamer VCT, langsung aja di like yang buat yang baru join ya. Kita di Sabtu sore ini kita watch party santai aja, kebetulan ada match beton ini ya hari ini ya. Langsung absen, jangan absen dulu, lagi nonton kebiasaan. Sorry.
Scars still kept that bait. Bleed just winning out on the utility.
PCS kapan lagi? Besok, buset.
You can see now, it's a new wave for Bleed himself.
Ini pasti yang nanya VCS kapan nggak ini nih, nggak nonton live streamingnya nih, konyol. Kalau disediain sama Wijel.
But Sands instead the call from Scars. Jemkin on the high ground too. Surprising Juicy. It's up to Scary now to try and hold.
Kita betnya map 2 kan Ben. Orang udah tutup dari tadi. Telat lu.
Scary though gets one at the very least. 3v2. Scars making a
Anjay, nep.
Nep though. After shock
Nep
now.
gimang. Apakah Nep di Bleed gacor? Di timnas lumayan.
Here, retake for Bleed, but Scars have every advantage. They know where he is, and Crystal looking absolutely clear. Darion 1v2, but the flank here.
Anjay.
To capitalize, and Scars gain.
Lihat nih tank Rusia selain something adik-adik ya. Apalagi sih gacor di Bang Kristal nih. Oh, sekarang juga gacor.
Bleed didn't expect coming their way. They were checking out.
Final berapa map? Final BO5.
If they can actually get the off angle towards Sands itself. Scars, they just know how to pile up together, and players like Alan, players like Crystal, you can rely on them if they're feeling pretty hot. 3-1 scoreline though. I'm looking at Scars and their utility so far. Yoshi, he's only gotten a single kill, but he has the Rolling Thunder. That's what Scars has been doing. Getting a bit of that orb control to boot.
Look at Darion here with an
Asik lama dong final.
See how able to utilize that as
watch party Ascension ada match beton, langsung aja di tap linknya.
Up towards arcade stands, but he's gonna have to hit that shot.
Mampus.
He doesn't have the disengage tool that maybe someone else like Juicy might possess.
And Scars, look at how they set up on
gua mau ngarahin kamera ke kanan.
I'd say favoritism towards playing drop as much as possible. They love using that as an area of engagement, especially early on into the game here versus Bleed. And this time,
titit Ben. Si Alay, kita time out dulu guys.
A full stack looking to come.
Malu-malu kayak anak kecil di Discord.
Keeping them at bay towards A main. They destroy it. Alerts here Bleed that there should be guards, that there should be presence on that A main side. Rolling Thunder coming on now. Crazy Guy recon.
Kamu calling, aku lagi ginding. Rahman Hadid, terima kasih udah jadi member. Welcome back Rahman. Woi, gacor kieu Nep. Gelo. Ini mapnya Scars loh. Jajan sore yang enak, bakso Malang. Yang ada somai basah, yang ada keringannya itu. Itu mantap itu. Saya jadi pengen ya. Wah anjing, like 45. Lu tonton muka gua.
That rolling thunder from connecting, it just gave Bleed here the proper position to really stop that push from coming. When you are going for a drop push out like that, one of the most important powerful positions is that
Kupang lontong sore-sore mantap. Wah, kuping apa kupang itu?
I'll go with it. They're in a golden
Kupat
state right
bang,
now.
kupat. Masa kupang?
There you go. Happy now. Bleed Esports though looking very prepared for Scars and their executes. This is the slowest we've actually seen Scars play compared to their other matchup versus Orangutan versus Bonkers. Momentum though is in favor of Bleed. Can Scars answer? Juicy first against
si Jam Sky.
Scary goes down.
That's Jam Sky nih.
Yeah, huge pick. They needed that, especially with the lesser weapons here. Jemkin can give his rifle to somebody else and play off of his showstopper, but they do have to
lagi Sabrut ini.
Back on site, and here we have Scars now
Alhamdulillah.
falling closer and closer. Pick up a bit more firepower.
Kupang.
Scars
Enggak, kupat.
the man advantage.
Kupang itu
That was all they wanted. Make that noise, go back to B main, and then regroup with Allen.
Enggak. Tolong pakai bahasa Indonesia ya.
Not that I don't trust him, but just statistically, it is better to have the
Ntar gue pakai di judul kali ya. IDN.
Theft confirming presence here actually pretty spread throughout for Bleed.
Yeah, and those two
Kupang kan, iya kupang.
Use it to double back. No, they're committing here for that A side. Showstopper now gonna be the call.
Kupang lontong tuh maksudnya lontong dari kupang apa gimana?
Orbital strike also from Scars. They're not getting anything from these ultimates. Bleed playing a game of keep away instead, and here comes Juicy yet again.
Wah, Juicy Lucy. Wah, gak expect. Masih dapat Juicy Lucy gila nih. Langsung tampar aku di Meki. Gila. Di Surabaya bilangnya kupang. Ada huruf T ya. Jauh-jauh pakai eng deh. Pakai T aja. Ada kupang lontong Ben barusan search di Google. Gue bukan mempermasalahkan ada enggaknya bang.
Every kind of setup that they have here, it is working. From the crazy guy Sova to the incredible positioning from the likes of Nev.
Ben ya. Manggil doang, masih 40 nih. Like 40 ha.
Reassess. Just reconfigure their headspace right now for this game. They're a much more free-flowing team, as we talked about, as we brought up during the
Blok saja hilang, wah konyol kamu.
And while that might be great for some of the other teams here, Bleed are one of those teams where you have to be absolutely structured to the highest degree. Just to be able to give them a game and take them down.
Even all the prep work in the world might not make you even ready for Bleed Esports. And in this time out, we're not seeing, honestly, the Scars that we expected. We want to see the moments from Crystal. We want to see the moments from Jemkin. And we know that they can actually
aku mana. Wah, banyak yang hilang.
But Bleed,
kita lihat dulu member berapa? 633 makin turun ya. Tegar, makasih satu tahunnya Tegar.
No way to stop those waves from
Belum
crashing.
ditunggu DFM di final.
Apa? All peaks right now for Bleed. At what point does it start to go?
Tapi itu level berapa? Udah 59. Dikit lagi banget nih 60 gua belum sempat main.
Showstopper for Juicy, just so much going their way right now.
BCS jam berapa? Jam 7.
Powerful position so far. But then again, we've seen from Scars against Bonkers, against Orangutan. Sure, they can just go for their own rally and then start running away with the scoreline. Scars though, yet again, crawling around now, especially moving into the tunnel. I do wonder if we're going to get more of a two-pronged attack towards this B-side this time around.
Scars right now, certainly trying to cut the noise.
Remember bulan depan masih kehitung 2 bulan. Iya lanjut. Nggak reset kodoknya. Wih, gila si Jam Sky. Satu lagi. Alah, sesekeri gimana guys? Sesekeri guys. Onyol ini sesekeri nih. Wah. Dan kalau David makanya 13 bulannya David.
Surprise Scars, but they're the ones who seem perplexed at what just happened.
Wah, konyol nih.
For the meantime, there should be a round going towards Scars, who retaliate with one of their own. Although Bleed, honestly, if they lose every round from now on, it's not going to be too bad on the defensive side on Fracture, especially. But obviously they want something else coming.
Voice in game-nya kenapa masih kecil dari kemarin? Hah?
Maybe Darren can find an exit, but
mana voice in game?
Scars aren't given that. The operator saved is all they can.
Gak ada yang ngomong, Darian gak ngomong. Gak mungkin denger kita voice in game mereka mah.
It just goes to show those Scars, they can be very impactful, and I love
iya,
the
bentar ya.
adjustment coming out of the
Gua
time
lupa.
out. They don't actually need to group up
Mau
each other. They just want to make sure
aku lagi
that
pusing.
they do have Bleed Esports checking out some more corners, that they're not as prepared as they would like, and here the impact courtesy of
Maksudnya suara
Alan,
in game,
especially at the very
lu pengen
end,
terlihat keren gitu ya pakai
allows
bahasa
Scars to
Inggris.
just navigate so quickly towards the site.
Yeah, look at that spam from Yoshi.
Emang dari kemarin ini sih.
Finding a kill there.
Ben, bentar lagi ada video yang judulnya Against Exurate and PRX for second.
I think it is. So
Siapa Rayak? Paling Rayak kan sih.
a single round.
Raksasa masih 3 bulannya.
And want to stop the bleeding.
I gave you the pass the first time. Come on. I know you were ready for bleed puns today. I know that there's gonna be so many things
Iya,
from your mouth.
ketebak apa gua?
But as of right now, with this kind of timeout, I guess this is where you get the veteran prowess of someone like Legia in the first place. He has been such a long-time coach. I know you know a lot more about his career.
Alhamdulillah, amin.
But then again, it's just how Bleed wants to keep up their position of power. Now they're gonna be
Bleed tim Malay Singapura.
How they're
Bleed
gonna
Singapura.
reposition accordingly now that perhaps the utility setups aren't gonna work as much as they want to.
Yeah, what will change here, right? What the adjustment is
Kenapa
towards a
terang banget
potential
sih anjing
kind of
ini?
surprise execute like that with what Scars pulled out.
Kamera
Do they
gua aneh
pull on
banget.
further back towards
Nah.
the CT spawn, right towards the defender side spawn, or do they try and do something
si
else?
Umoy,
with-
makasih udah
push
jadi member
forward,
Umoy.
be aware of what's to come.
Welcome back,
We see a lot
Umoy.
of times defenses opt to go on the more active, aggressive side here on a map like Fracture. But is that the right call against a team like Scars?
I'm
Watching
calling.
for Bleed and
Halo
what
JJ.
they're also going to use with their ultimates later on. They still have the lockdown, they still have the showstopper and the orbital strike. So many ways actually to
Penjedot lagi bentar ya.
prevent Scars from having an easy time to make their way towards the site. And even as they're putting down that spike, it might get
Lah.
even tougher. Now, I think
Oh,
I think
kenapa
it's
ini?
probably a tech right here. We're
Tech paus, guys.
Still though, Bleed Esports commanding lead so far, and I think this is where we go back to our panel discussions, right? This is the form that we expect from Bleed. This is the reason why they haven't lost an official
Apakah
matchup
aku
ever
akan
since
kena
the
TO?
Yeah,
Ya
I think we
Allah,
also
disingkat.
kind of recognize the fact that their first game that did have a shaky map was more of just that first game jitters. To be fair, it's been true for almost every team. Maybe not almost, but a lot of the teams that we saw come up here, D+, first stage jitters, see other teams as well show the same symptoms. But we're back into the game here right now. We talked about those ultimates a while ago. They still hold on to him, so Bleed, if they're given an opportunity to utilize
Like
that,
dulu
then
napa like anjay, si Abu
figured they
ngamuk
could
langsung
do
aja
this
di like
next
bu.
round.
And we changed their positions. You got Crazy Guy now moving towards B. You have Darion here actually playing the operator, and he's an incredible op player. It's just dangerous that
Ini dia nih Darion nih, OP lumayan lah.
Does he disappoint? Not gonna happen. He's not gonna get that
Anjay.
shot, but at least gets away from the Prowler.
Alert them, though, where the operator is. I'm not too sure if they recognize it's going to be Darion holding it this case. But now that they know the op is there, the question is,
Zeng, terima kasih bantuannya Zeng.
Are they going to be a bit more cautious
Udah like
now?
4
They only
kali.
have the one Prowler
Ada yang
left
lebih lucu
to try
nggak?
and really find that on out. Otherwise, maybe a cam, maybe flash, everything, but you can see them being a lot more cautious now because they know that
Yang kena
that's a threat.
Oh yeah, they're making noise towards B just to pull Darion away. You can
Dadag,
see with that
anjay,
Cypher setup,
dadag.
it prevents really Bleed from aggressing in any shape and form. So more of a passive defense here from Bleed. They're looking for prime position instead, and Juicy now.
Woi,
lets
tampar
in the shot.
aku,
Champion will
mantap.
get the takedown, but Juicy will drag him to hell with him. Alan now, if you use Cyber Cages also, but it's Neff right there to get that kill. CT looking strong here for Bleed. Yoshi with the answer back, 3v3 for now. Neff still throwing out that aftershock. The smoke dissipates, and it's
Buset.
Barry who will be found instead. 2v2
Si
now.
Toren gila juga.
And Darion trying to find the angle. Rifle picked up here by Darion. The
Asik.
lockdown is there too. But look at Scars and their position. They're playing on Sands instead, trying to get the catch going. Darion moving on to the site as well. Yoshi's here towards
sih udah tahu ya,
Hallway
Dodo ya, Ben.
especially. And with the fault line play, the stall potential can be real here for Scars. Darion will just defuse.
Dapat setengah?
Can Neff protect
Oke.
him? Darion falls.
Ayo, Nep,
And
bisa
it's
Nep, bisa
Yoshi
Nep.
now, and
Wah,
Alan
bisa
gets the
gila
job
maksudnya,
done.
Nep.
Scars will at least fight back to go for another round.
Beautifully played here You can just see how comfortable
Tadi
they
Naos
were.
ngelawan juga ya,
Scars,
lawan Sersia.
I love the fact that
Harusnya ntar
after
lawan
the
Boom
flank,
besok gampang
they
sih ya.
push on forward there
Orang di
towards
mana?
that triple,
India.
towards that,
India
Sam's
tapi
position,
kebantu
all
ada
three of them.
Pinoy-Pinoynya dah.
Recognizing that if they
Isi
take
aja.
that position away, they're gonna have an easier pivot on the rotate towards A main where it's planted for anyways out in the open. And also just deny it from that short
Oi,
position
Kinder
from
Coy.
that Zant if it ever came down to it. So having contingencies is what's been working for Scars.
And not only that, they're having
Duh,
these
jangan
stellar
bilang
timings.
gampang.
They're waiting out some of these.
Abu diem aja.
going for those small
Ya,
market picks with that
Kabu
intel as
kamu.
well. And from that point on,
Kodoknya
Stars
hilang.
now starting to
Ya.
go for more and more of these rounds. Nefto fights back.
Ya,
Crystal actually
jadi
got out
Abu.
immediately. And without their shot caller, it's going to be difficult here for Scars. The flash on in, but Bleed has already evacuated.
Bleed wanting to get out of the emergency area for the meantime. Scars currently
Ya.
opening
Wow.
trade at the very least here off of Allen.
Hujan samarkan derasnya.
Yoshi finds a kill on Crazy Guy.
Tutup
Over
air
there and Juicy.
mata.
Fended off so far. Horrible
Buset,
strike
buset,
now.
buset. Dipus itu,
Unleashed
dipus.
from Bleed. Preventing Scars
Dipus
from
nih.
getting the plant going. Yoshi
Bisa
wants to
carry.
go for
Apakah
that
dapat
faster
timing?
and quicker
Whoop.
contact here. He's just waiting for the smokes to dissipate. Plant
Dapat
does
dong
go
Derion
down,
dong,
though.
nggak mungkin kalah
Here
dong.
we go. Danger
Oke,
close, but Derion
hampir
reacts
lu.
even faster. Jamkin will fall, and the
As
advantage
Jus.
here for Bleed.
Oke, mantap.
Juicy
Lagi
also
beton banget ini.
finds the isolated duel, and
Satchel
there
atas
is
lah.
Blade.
Oke,
Power
mantap.
to the table.
Sesekeri.
The firepower and the fight that they have. Isolated angles go Bleed's way.
Di bawah matanya
Scars here,
kenapa?
they were
Hah?
kind of pressured
Gak tahu.
to
Kenapa
go
emang?
aggressive
Gue nggak
after
lihat.
their own post plant instead of playing that post plant. So kind of curious case. I would wager too, Jemkin, if he had a Phantom over a Vandal, he would want that fight. That's all I'm saying. Very DPS. Just to let through. But you can see here, sitting comfortably once more. Bleed. They could wait. They play better.
Apa lu, Din?
They sit better. With Steel
Ini baru aja nyoba lagi adik-adik. Gue diajakin main ras lagi guys sama Ose sama Rope. Coba gue sambil update dulu kali ya. Nah, update.
Honestly, I feel great for my back.
Ah, true. I haven't actually seated on a chair like this in forever. It's always a gaming chair, but this is just incredible.
Iritasi.
Ergonomic
Oh iya.
Lovely. Obviously, we got like a VCT embroidered onto it as well. But let's get back into the game. Orbital strike available for Toroneko.
Yeah, Toroneko.
Gas.
Do with
Gas,
that, that's
tar main.
question. Scars now. Yet again though. They
Hari ini
have
gue ulang
been
tahun ucapin HBD Arindra ya. Terima kasih. Selama 3 bulan kamu sudah menjadi member. Semoga kamu hidupnya selalu berkah dan panjang umur ya. Mas Ben, sore dapat.
Crystal, he'll clear out some of the closer angles. They have to use utility to go into the site.
Ikut boleh gak Ras? Boleh nanti kita rame-rame aja. Ntar kita tanya Rope Ose dulu. Servernya di mana? Biasanya kalau gua main Ras juga suka ada viewer kak. Biasanya bawain lootingan ya.
Better safe than sorry, of course. Slow is safe, and safe is steady. Steady is fast. And that's where they continue. The catch here, though, off the trap, off the flank.
Yeah, Yoshi, he's in trouble.
Amin, makasih Ben,
but the
sama-sama bro.
strike at least from
Langsung aja linknya di pin komen.
And Bleed though still cannot cross. The fire's keeping them at bay. And I'm watching what Crazy Guy can do from that drop position. Still, the standoff.
Belum pada semangat push rank. Gue udah push rank baru kebuka diamond.
Bleed now to the neural theft. This is intel here for Scars. They will know where Bleed is coming from. And look at Yoshi and Allen go. Trying to use that backline pressure. Juicy at least fights back. Even more so. Scary now pops up the doorway. And Scary
Doan 2 bisa nih, Doan 2 nih.
keeping Bleed's chances possible. But it's not enough. So much time bought there by Scars.
Yeah, you can see
Aku jadi
how
member
they
kok
just
nggak ada notif.
wasted that
Lah
time.
iya,
Off the
makasih
flank,
jawabannya
the
jadi member.
flank signaling.
Error
The
kayaknya ada
flank
banyak
push
yang kayak
was
gitu tuh.
coming.
Tiba-tiba ada kodoknya tapi nggak ada notif.
Orbital strike, flashes, cages,
Kamu kena jebakan
everything they
Arindra,
can throw
maksudnya apa
to
itu?
keep him at
Remove
bay.
dulu, remove.
Scars, they
Tidak
benefit
baik
off of it,
komennya.
so they're starting to rally back a comeback here.
And they're realizing that
Kenapa?
Bleed is avoiding that initial contact to begin with. They didn't use as much as utility as you'd expect for them in their usual clears. They still had a bunch of it in reserve, especially to watch out towards halls.
Welcome new
Scars
member,
looks really strong. They
asik.
get those initial picks, and if they don't, they'll at least
Komentar
have
jadi
something
keinget
to
taman
keep you away
Nemo.
from the site.
Gue dari zaman Facebook juga udah main anjir.
You don't seem to shy away from attacking the site right now. Taking a faster pace, Orbital rather showstopper being pulled out here by
Si Jam Sky mau kemana? Jam Sky. Menggendong roket. Ay. Lah, yang dapat si Yoshi.
does get the kill himself. Scars now with the clear.
Si Yoshi udah nggak bikin konten berapa harga outfit lo guys. Iya, mampus lu Jam Sky.
Scary denies the plant.
The lineups have been incredible here for Bleed between Scary
Sorry,
and Crazy
Basran.
Guy. Scars now sputtering to try and
Yoshi
at least
Noya.
get back. So
Lucu lu Odin Ron.
Rolling Thunder though to be more proactive, but Crazy Guy and Scary, they hold down the line. 2v2 now. Can Crazy Guy make magic happen? It's all up to Terraneko. He's so low and null. He's dead to rights from the
Gila, Bang Juicy.
Bleed is just coloring up the scoreline.
Si Dapang ikut si Udin lihat tuh.
Back and forth though.
Salah, oh ya maaf.
I still love how Bleed are so composed to get those punishes right on time. And the utility here.
Gimana tuh replay?
Deny intent is what's been working so good for Bleed.
Iya, meledak.
We saw a while ago early on the shock darts.
Yola bukan main Roblox, semua dimainin sama dia.
To punish there and get the kill off of Jemkin, who was too low to even escape in that case. So Bleed, they take the advantageous half.
And the communication too. Crazy Guy was the one who swung it. Basically told Juicy, love the pain shells. He's just dead, stuck there towards screens anyway. Smoke does come out though, and here comes Juicy, or rather Jemkin, to try and take that tower.
Look at the buy.
They have such a weak buy right now. It's a struggle here for Scars. They'll rely on the rifles of Jemkin and Allen to at least get the
Enak lu di spam.
Here we have it.
Ayo.
Juicy.
Anjay, Bang Juicy langsung aja terbang dulu dikit. Tas, duar, mantap. Raja Deep, guys.
Rolling Thunder to the call. Bleed now, looking to cascade.
Gas, Crazy Guy.
Allen has a plan to try and go for his own kind of flag. Yoshi, he needs to buy time.
Nah, itu kena. Aduh.
But there is on the defuse. Gets halfway already.
Buset, beton.
Wiping out the opposition. And what else can Torraneko do? Absolutely nothing.
Beton, Bleed bro, anjing.
Torraneko at the end, but they tore him asunder.
Semakin pede ini. Boom Bleed.
Every big ultimate they needed, they had. Showstopper in and Rolling Thunder, and they brought the storm. No way to
Juicy
stop
mantan
it here.
cheater, oh iya.
With a forecast for Scars.
Bagus loh kalau mantan cheater jadi jago mah. Sama kayak
S-Magic. To the end of that first half. It's always about the tactics here from Bleed. Yes, they have the firepower. Yes, they have the strength in their players themselves. But the way that they're able to play out
Rotur family susu cup aja.
Susu
cup
was a showcase from Bleed Esports on how to just keep away from a very aggressive squad. And Scars, they had to will themselves to those kind of victories. They had to go for the fights in such inopportune moments or angles just to win out these rounds.
Optimal here for sure, the way that Bleed have been playing a lot of these retaking rounds.
Itu lihat Ruski.
And the pride here of Singapore right now, showing up, stepping up to the park, knocking it out of the plate. I flipped that on purpose. Yeah,
amazing.
Because I want to flip the plate, you know, like you flip a table. Because right now they're crazy.
Ini coachnya Bleed Legia kan ya? Legija.
This map, this series, even very punny.
Ngapa tuh ngimpi si Scary?
Well, you have a man like Crazy Guy leading the charge here for Bleed Esports. You know things can get pretty insane when everything looks sound for them. Do wonder though how.
Jadi sekarang udah nggak carry lagi. Teman-temannya beton soalnya.
Like this at all.
Oh dulu kan dia selalu orang terakhir nggak clutch ya kan?
It's been a difficult ride for sure for Scars in that opening half, and now they have to try and come back.
Salah, bukan Brajet itu.
On the defensive side, Bleed just looking pretty spectacular so far in their opener of this series, and I don't expect that to stop anytime on long. So if you're a Scars fan, get ready for a ride.
I think it's insane though for Bleed that we keep talking about Crazy.
BTW only up ada update apaan lagi guys? Tadi only up gua update anjir.
He's just so consistent at getting takedown.
Apakah remove glitch rolling on the floor?
He can be the one to challenge Jemkin in a clash itself. Scars though, a triple stack towards A, going for aggression towards Hall. Bleed will avoid that.
I think it's because we just see a lot of what Crazy Guy, Neff, Scary, the backline is able to do, the midline as well, enabling him to do his work, to do what's his job basically. Torraneko here trying to chime in on the fight, deny the recon maybe, but the plant will go down unhindered.
Yeah, darts there. Bleed will get that spike down. Scars now grouping up to go for their retake. It's going to be difficult. With the smokes now dissipating, this can be a chance for Scars to get in there. Pain shells towards the site itself. Bleed has already gone on the way. Scary actually using the rope to reinforce towards Crazy Guy. And the stall also, courtesy of the nanoswarms. Good utility usage here. Crazy Guy though not ready for the push of Scars. Darian though more prepared. Here comes Scary as well. No one expected Scary to come out from that angle. And it's 3v2 now. Bleed with advantage.
Line up sa Scary ya kan? Apakah berhasil guys? Anjing, gila line up gampang ya.
Yeah, great post plant here coming from Bleed. Also the shot dart there from Crazy Guy. Finding
Tadi di konten Windows sih gue liat gak ada patung anime, itu mah kemarin. Itu kan dia stolen aset makanya dihilangin. Anjing ini kenapa ini? Apakah gara-gara update? Enggak dong, harusnya enggak tuh. Internet gue beton guys, tenang aja update 8 GB.
That's exactly what happened in the end.
There were just so many check marks there for Bleed. They got the stall courtesy of Darian's nanoswarms. Yes, they had Crazy Guy going for those shock darts as well, and just allow Scary to be in the right place that he wants to be.
Kunanda ya.
But to no avail, they're on an eco and Juicy
Betul mati si James
be
Sky.
happy to just sip on that kill.
Well, we know then these
gara-gara gue lagi Twitch drop ya.
are super effective at running away with the lead.
Lagi ngambil skin battle beat gue nih.
And that they're on the pace to do so. Allen goes down, trying to go with a shorty, but it doesn't go unresponded.
Jangan keculik.
Bumps into him, doesn't say excuse me, and in the
Gila
end,
dibantai kia guys
it's
Jepang.
inhospitable there from Scars themselves. In the
Lihat ini Ruski. Crystal Gaming.
4 versus 1, Crystal's all alone. This yet again.
Buka one tap.
Strong
Dengan seri penak ya.
Dart is broken. There's a
Kelihatan itu anjir, itu tipis banget loh.
Good job, Crystal. That was a nice shot.
Gila,
But doing even
tipis
better.
banget.
10-round scoreline.
Well, at least a bit of fortune helps, but in this case, it was crystal clear
Gila
that would have been around.
Pro player.
That he's going to be able to win in that case, not against this Bleed team playing the way that they are right now. Still though, we have to wonder. Scars.
Itu kalau nggak 360 aja nggak kelihatan guys, asli.
Get themselves going in this map. This is their chance to make something happen.
Well, Scars.
Pasti dia ngelihat highlight-nya itu loh.
Need to fight
warnanya.
right here, right now. Jemkin has been effectively shut down in this game. It's been a whimper from such a strong team with many statements. It's Bleed now. Playing the bonus, they have a few Bulldogs to work with at the very least, but I'm watching out for that Bucky. It means that Bleed, they really want to get that tower control to begin with.
Yeah, and play it. As long as they can hold that tower, that Bucky's going to be a big problem for the retake here on Scars. Let's see how they deal with it in the first place. At the very least here for Scars, they're aware of that Bleed presence, the heavy Bleed presence towards the arcade position. I think they've at least confirmed 3. The flank as well here from Jenkin. Knows that Scary is there. So you can see now Scars just anticipating a heavy push. They play back, opting to give him a side.
Skema apa lagi nih Bleed?
Yeah, this is
skema reheat B kan?
Scars here at least limiting the options of
Kenapa A-nya nggak berani nge-push ya?
Cuman
di itunya doang, dish-nya doang.
And this time around, the execute looking a bit more standard for Bleed in the first place. The smokes are there.
Ketahuan nih si Juicy. Lah, kocak anjir orang bunyi ya rajanya ya.
And at least it's something that Bleed can work with. Camera though gets the spot going. Yoshi, will he
aneh juga di Jepang.
Jemkin to a different plan on the other side of the smoke. And there you go, the 2 raises touch, but it's Jemkin who will still stand at the very end. 4v3 for now. Scars already
dapat bonus asik sih, udah dapat plan juga.
Yeah, turns his back. This is where the Bucky would potentially come on in, but it's dropped right. So
oke, si Scary sudah line up, guys. Kabur.
Fight goes Yoshi's way, and they have a 4v2.
Lumayan, delay lagi. Punya ulti loh, Crazy Guy.
Darian as well, same kind of setup. Bleed here, just looking for
punya ulti nih. Asik, huge.
Has been let go. It's all up to Jemkin here to try and find these takedowns. Does Yoshi have enough time? It's gonna be close.
Wah, hampir anjir. Big round. Kalau kata live chat mah mahal. Tapi ini game memang susah ditebak juaranya. Bleed susah payah menang lawan OGT. Scars dibantai OGT. Bleed yang sekarang ngebantai Scars. Ya aneh.
And that's a bonus, by the way.
Memang aneh yang di atas kertasnya harusnya lebih jago tapi bisa kalah ya kan.
You can feel the pressure
Emang aneh.
now for Scars.
Nih eventnya LAN iya
They
di
were
Bangkok.
a hair's length from losing that round. At least they have a few rifles to work with. Still not the best sign though.
Lihat mainstream semua pada mikir Scars menang gampang emang iya. Kagak lah anjing. Lawan Bleed masa menang gampang, gila dah.
Actually falls first. Darion with an immediate trade. 4v4 as the smokes are out and Bleed tried to cross. Watch Crystal. He's on the inside. Wants to be the poison pill. Picks up a rifle. They heard that.
Bleed rival pada masanya tuh Pepperex guys.
He comes out with a vandal, but could maybe
Top
have some
3 bang.
timing there to try and chime in on the fight. The timing up a scary finds a proper angle. Alan, he takes
sudah
it
melihat.
down, Torneko.
Scary.
Scary no.
Oke mantap.
And there he goes. Steps on the head of Torneko.
Scary. Santai aja.
3v2 now. Yoshi
Cakep.
trying to get the angle, but Darion
Rapi.
is prepared on site. Crystal now in the 1v3.
Lah eta rekonnya kemana?
There to try and provide perhaps even a first contact. Now the last one standing, but Bleed Esports all across.
Cepping.
Any angle need to play off. They even have that insta-win condition with the orbital strike. This must be a save here.
There's no chance.
Finalis teruskan
Not
dulu
in this
iya.
world, not in this timeline. A scary.
Ada satu kali momen gara-gara Pepperex ke lower itu jadi nggak finalis.
11-5. Scars look
Dibantai sama Pepperex.
Just frightening when he shows up in
Besok
those
final DF ya.
moments. Scars is the one with those.
Kemarin katanya ada yang mau live sore kemana yang nggak tahu bang, tanya sama bapaknya.
Just dismantling the setup of Scars no matter what pace they play. The aggression
Wah, real kayak itu, cuy.
early on. The slow play is at least off angle by Bleed Esports. They're 2 away
Ben
now.
lu tahu Red Dog tahu
Scars
Red Dog
has
enak
been
enak.
using
Itu
all
enak.
that Pacific Ascension to
Gue dulu doyan
great
kondok
success.
yang itunya kentangnya.
Seems like it's Bleed here ascending to
Ada di
another
Pekanbaru,
plane
men.
of existence. We talked
Lu
about
kapan main
dogs
lagi
can
besok
bleed.
sore?
These guys, they're looking even higher than that. Omnipotent.
Gak dapet angle ya.
Always at the ready to get the punish.
Ah mati dong lu Darion.
Get the hell away.
Ah Darion. Satu lagi Darion.
But Darion
Ah.
indeed.
Ah.
Catch him sure, but Darion avoids the seize and
Wah,
he cannot
mati.
fight back against
Gua beli
Crystal
4.
there at the end. A nice try from Darion, but
Bagi
didn't
atu,
get
Bang.
the space they needed.
Bang,
Yeah, 2v3
woi.
retake.
Bang lapar bang.
Frenzy in Torneko's hands and he's
Ini mana
far
panas dalam lagi gua nelan
from
sakit
the
anjing.
fight. They know Crystal is here towards A main.
Red Doors enak juga apa?
Torneko doubles up as well. Showstopper.
Lah.
Okay, he just looking to
Bang
save
Jus
it.
gimana Bang
Crystal,
Jus?
get the hell
Wah.
out. Kicked away by
Satu lagi, Bang Jus.
there. It's 2v1 Torneko. He's tempted. He wants to pick up the rifle.
they
Oh
heard that.
kedengeran.
Ready, Bleed. So immediately, the alerts are sounding. They're getting back in position.
No time.
There is just no time whatsoever for Scars to work with. This is such an imposition by Bleed. Think about it.
Jing ult.
Scars may have won the
Biasalah,
battle
Jing ult.
towards Darion, but Bleed will win this war in this round.
Well, looking to win this entire bout too. Match point secured. Quick and easy for Bleed. 12-5. And what impending doom they can see at the horizon.
This is what Bleed is all about. This is the Bleed that was
suara gua nggak beda kan ya?
from the MYSG scene. And you can see
Meler lagi suara-suara
superstars
di
in their
babi
own
lah.
right. The
Yeah.
fact that Darion bought that much time. The rest of Bleed just didn't watch and wait for that kind of conclusion. They went for the site, they saw the intel
Baca lagi nggak
immediately
bener,
and knew
iya.
the numbers Scars had left
Kemarin
to
gue
work
udah
with.
hampir sakit anjir.
This team
Bandung hujan nggak?
certainly
Enggak.
looking a lot more impossible by the minute, by the round to come back in this map. At what point do you
Jing bikin
move on
deal sama Dewa
forward?
Valorant tembakannya
Think
gacor tapi
about
satu
next,
barunya
of
nggak
course.
kena.
You have to take it round per
Tinggal
round.
ganti
You can't
agent
give
lain
up
ya.
till the saying is done, till they ring the
3
final
map gak?
line. And yet Scars
3 map sih
still an
bisa
option
sih 3
here.
map.
Final
Tapi nggak tahu
timeout
nih ya di
called.
map Bleed harusnya sih.
And how do they adjust?
Harusnya sih
Will it
punya
even
Bleed
be
namanya
enough?
mapnya dia ya kan.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen Scars in a position like this.
Oh yeah.
Looking very lost on what to do. That their overpowering assault isn't enough to find these kind of angles, and we've seen them be pacemakers in their own right. But Bleed has just been controlling this show, has had the remote.
Yang juara VCS
ever
masuk
since round
franchise
number
league.
1. What else? can
Apa?
Esports Scars, they need to find the channel quickly.
I mean, what is an incredible force against an immovable object right now? In Bleed, they planted
Kalau nyari
themselves
hujan mah
like
ke
a
Bogor
tree
aja,
on
Bang.
these post plant holds.
Lagi hujan.
no way for Scars to budge him out, so maybe deny the plant in the first place. Maybe
Lu orang udah nonton konten baru belum? Wah, belum, konyol nih. Wah, nge-like aja setak 100, wah konyol.
Well, they're ready to send it towards B main and lead.
Jadinya gue konten mau sehari satu aja, tapi kayaknya kelamaan kesian adik-adik, udahlah. Gue gas aja tadi.
Leads the charge, a great peek from Darion to get the intel.
Well, now they know.
And lead.
Oh, Nebula.
What's coming? How many though the targets? That's a question. Crazy guy tries to let it rip.
Udah yang map 2 lah, map 1 nggak lu tonton.
You can see that bleed. Now that they know
Oh gitu gua upload 1 aja.
Infer from that information that it should be A. That will be open. Less manpower. Yoshi big pick. And that's what Scars needed early.
Yeah, Scars have been looking for rounds like this where they get the numbers advantage immediately. Alan though, backing on away from the site after the smokes. Nef gonna go for the plant and
Juara Soi masuk champion. Kalau masuk champion mah gue setuju sama Soi. Gue sepong tuh tiap hari si Soi.
Yeah, Nef is buying tie though. Showstopper now, and Jamkin will catch Nef there in the end. Scary playing so far on the way. He still has the Molly and the Orbital Strike, and he's now gonna let the heavens crack. So Scars here.
Anjir, line up si Scary.
Juicy buying time as well.
Mati dong lu Kristal, kocak. Kocak lu Kristal.
Bleed Esports, this is a standard B.
Wah, gila Bang Jos, tampar aku di
But you know what they always say, gods will bleed.
Well away for bleed.
Jadi main rush sama Oserope. Apa itu rush? Gak tahu, enggak ada. Menyeramkan kill, langsungnya map 2 guys.
And the way they were able to come back in the 3v5, the lineups off the brim, the orbital strike to deny the plant, the kill
mobil
by Juicy,
Toyota Rush.
And then the paint shells to
wow, apakah itu real?
Just the post plant, as I said, so difficult to force Bleed out of those situations.
This has just been magnificence from Bleed from start to finish, and you can see that they have controlled that powerhouse that is Scars. You know how strong Scars can play, but what did we see? Jamkin only getting traded so early on, them having to rely on the likes of Yoshi and Alan to keep everything in check. But then you look at Bleed's utility usage. They have Crazy Guy there to play from afar. You have Juicy using all that space alongside what Nef sets up for him. And there's just so many ways that Bleed has just turned around their fates round for round.
Well, we're going to break things down after we come back from this break.
Woo.
Kita cek dulu updatean, oke sudah beres. Bentar guys ya. Lah goblok nih orang ya. Bentar guys. Anjing gua lagi Twitch drop. Oh, stode mantap. Stode Twitch drop enable. Tolol dah, orang lagi Twitch drop ya. Streamingnya dilempar-lempar. Claim now. Oke, mantap. Aspal. Sip, mantap. BLD sama SJ adik-adik. Wah, cuma 26 orang anjing. Apakah watch party sudah mati adik-adik? Saatnya kita back to... Lah, scam anjing, baru lab. Pasti lagu. Wah. Oke, cengong guys, pusing. Mana Rope? Kita lihat jauh sampai mana. Udah dapet hazmatnya deh. Di server apa dah? Waktunya kan sama ya, Bangkok plus 7. Rustafit Seamen. Oh, media official dia. Anjing official sih, kompe parah ya. Gak ada babi ibu, langsung asli dah. Sore King, gak main sama Ose King, anjing. King. Ntar gue penasaran di Only Up tadi ada apa sih yang baru? Mimin Only Up, bentar, Mimin. Baru main nih orang. Helmet. Jauh tuh kayak masuk top 10. Jauh lah anjir. Udah berapa sekarang? Top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tuh. Di atas 6 juta bro. BTW ngerol masih bisa gak guys? Bisa bang? Nggak bisa. Oh ya udah, makasih ya jawabannya. Sampai 30 guys. Gamenya di ban di Steam. Kenapa di ban? Gue sih kemarin sempat dengar dia hilang ya di Steam. Masih bisa nggak sih? NFT scam atau apa? NFT scam? Hah? Oh, NFT scam? Top 1 bisa beli motor kali poinnya, buset. Kalau orang dapat duit dari nonton doang sih, nontonnya di TV. Iya, penonton bayaran. Gue main Only Up mentok sampai yang kasur 3 game kontol. Ya kalau udah nggak bakat mah emang gitu, Mer. Kopal, terima kasih udah urgent member, welcome back. Kalau nggak bakat mah gitu, Mer. Jadi nonton gua aja ya. Lalu kurang main lama itu. Baru juga main udah menyerah ya gak? Gimana sih? Kok gua udah lupa, guys? Teori miring. Oh bisa nih, masih bisa. Tapi nggak kencang anjing. Perasaan kalau nonton kelihatannya gampang. Emang begitu, lu tontonnya speedrunner kelihatannya gampang. Yang pipa tuh jahanam. Ya aja sih. Udah berapa jam main? 1 jam bang ya, 1 jam baru ngomong. Only pipa. Wah, apaan tuh? Gak main Undown. Nah ini apa sih Undown, guys? Undown Garena ini apa sih? Gue belum coba coy. Terima kasih 20.000-nya Yumi. Game apa sih? Apa sih game tentang apa? Zombie. Sama kayak Life After. Tapi dia game mobile kan ya? Mobile kan berarti jatuhnya seru kah? Seseru itu kah? Kok nggak di email sih gua? Ih, teori miring gue udah nggak bisa loh. Gue bisanya lurus doang. Tuh, miring gue jadi tolol. Kalau lurus gini gue bisa nih. Salah. Ini gue nonton sambil grinding, hah? Grinding pakai apa? HP? Nubruk goblok, kamana aing? Goblok. Grafiknya kurang kayak ya mau gimana, game HP kan? Emang lu orang tahu dari mana gamenya? Dari Apip, dari Winda kah? Di PC bisa, di PC pakai emulator kan? Apa emang ada versi PC-nya? Ada versi PC-nya. Oh, ada versi PC-nya. Cobalah. Coba speedrun nggak pakai glitch. Ya nunggu ininya dulu ya, nunggu uang tutup mulut ya. Biar gue main serius. Hap! Mentok. Kalau speedrun sekarang mah pasti ke ini, Mer. Keganggu VCT. Kan VCT cuma bentar anjir ininya. Kalau misalnya technical pause tuh kayak kemarin baru. Yang mondar-mandir di belakang lu siapa? Paling ini yang jagain bantal gua. Kenapa emang? Lagi mondar-mandir deh. Biarin aja lah. Belum gua doain.
Sometimes it's hard to choose the right path, but don't be afraid. You can always repeat. We learn from our mistakes.
Stop. Oh, mantap. Permain Kismin, terima kasih udah join member. Mimin langsung login GTA. Ya Allah. Menyerahnya dengan sangat cepat guys ya. Lah, bentar. Ada yang hilang di sini. Topi penyihir hilang. Topi penyihir hilang guys ya. Topi penyihir hilang ya. Catat ya. Saturnus kenapa menjadi gini guys? Kenapa? Hei! Hah? Oh? Kenapa jadi gini anjir? Aduh, jatuh lagi. Kok jadi gitu ya? Kenapa ada OC di situ kan emang ada. Ih, Saturnus jadi. Ntar coba masih bisa diinjek gak? Oh, masih bisa tapi anjir. Lah kok itu ada bola matahari di situ anjing? Wah, nampaknya banyak yang berubah, guys. Aduh, jatuh. Sponsor kampanye. Wah. Ya, gagal lagi. Apalagi yang berubah ya guys ya? Kepentok gua monyet. Rong. Bintang, makasih udah jadi member. Welcome back, Bintang. Ini yang 30 fps udah nggak bisa guys, glitch 30 fps. Huh? Ombaknya kemana? Lah? Banyak stolen aset kah? Sebanyak itu game ini mencuri, guys.
Many things were terrifying at night and became a laughing matter when daylight came.
Aneh kieu. Goblok. Mencuri. Jangan lupa betting adik-adik. Ish like-nya mentok 200 guys. Ish.
Stop drifting. Run to the finish line. Give up your hopes, and if your well-being is important to you, be your own savior while you can.
Gua udah lihat kiri loh. Nih naga ya. Ditipu lagi gua sama naga, guys.
It looks like that is going to be the exact same comp coming through from Scars as they picked last time, where they had a whole lot of success. The time before, this is both against Jadeite. It was that time
Tipu naga gua babi.
by Jadeite, and that comp did not work. That was the old double wall comp. They've gone back to something a little bit more tried and tested, going for the Astra.
Oke, Bang Jus kita pakai Reina guys di Pearl ya, Pro Reina.
You see them picking up that Reina. So we're gonna see where this one goes. You know, Reina
we're gonna
see. Choice of duelist, but we've seen it work very well on Pearl before.
The most interesting part about this, for Scars especially, is the change of focal point coming into these strategies.
Berapa orang nih yang bet?
Wow,
tidak ada yang percaya map 3 nampaknya. Cuma 132 orang. Ini yang nonton sedikit sekali ya ternyata.
6 first kills. He knows how to use those curveballs. He knows how to play that N3. And perhaps that's the punch that Scars needs, given the fact that Bleed cannot rely on a utility setup anymore when they're playing Jet Reina also.
When there's less pressure there on Jemkin, I don't doubt that he could be performing a lot better than what we saw there coming on Fracture. But you want to see this kind of be like the way that SEA plays, the way that APAC Pacific in general, double duelists on either side, the most simplistic of compositions to give us one of the most entertaining of games.
And what I'm looking at as well, as you mentioned, Jemkin back onto the Jet, back with those knives. That is where he gives us all those little surprises. And maybe that raise was a problem for him, who knows? I guess we can find out later on today, once the game's all said and done. But for the moment, it's still here, it's still kicking, and it is Scar's chance to make a reverse sweep happen. they get the selection of side, of course, they are going to be starting on that defense where they believe they want to start. Now, how do you see that operating with the agent comp that they've brought, especially, you know, playing for the retake?
It's just about catching Juicy. This has to be both Crystal and Jemkin barreling down on Juicy, preventing him from getting that kill, and then preventing him
Bet
also
bleed
from
all kan BLD ya bang. BLD bang.
Nih,
gue kurang kelihatan apa ini?
Both these plans, and if they actually shut down Juicy
Bang
itself,
Mojai.
rather, it is just such a big problem for the side of Bleed because they have so many committed utilities that they can't really regenerate. Like, you think about the Brimstone smokes, it's not gonna come back.
Well, we shall see very shortly.
Boom, kapan besok harusnya? Sore.
But it is going to be Pearl as the second map of the series. Can Bleed keep it clean? Let's find out.
Apakah 2-0?
Bleed, they look dominant in that first map. Can they do so in the second? As Scars have decided to throw down the gauntlet, face off where Bleed is unbeatable this year, and just run a double duelist setup as well. You guys are tuning on in to Scars versus Bleed, and there's still so many implications. Bleed, they want to get
Crystal
that
Phoenix sih bisa sih guys,
Scars
Crystal
wins this
Phoenix
Black and
nih.
Blue. They
Gila
are
nih.
into the playoffs.
Well, it's
Phoenix
Atlantis
di sini
where we
bagus
shall
sih.
see under the sea if Bleed can come on through cleanly. Scars opening defensive round for them, taking a bit more of a passive approach, but they are putting emphasis on stacking
Baru pada
towards
ngebet
B
nih.
site.
Bet BLD,
Playing
bet
on
SJ.
Pearl
Tuh
as
kan
Scars.
tuh, emang
This is the
kebiasaan.
hardest route to get to the playoffs early, and if they are able to do this, if they're able to beat one of the biggest streaks, one of the most prestigious streaks of Bleed Esports on a map that they call home effectively, then you know they're truly a contender. They do play though here for Bleed towards the art area.
Diem Deim, Deim.
As well, and Scars, they're gonna have to just hang back and let this one go.
Yeah, one would assume with a comp like this that the retake is what's going to really benefit them on out, especially on the defensive side. They took that gamble
Baru dateng,
towards
ya,
B side,
langsung
gave
aja taruh.
up the completely. The TA
Taruh
side
like-nya
now they're gonna
cepetan.
try and hit off that retake. You can see how Bleed here on their postman really taking that art control.
Lah,
It is planted for
kagak
him.
pecah.
That's the fallback point here for Juicy, and there you go. This miss right now on the other side. He wants to set up a
Whoop,
crossfire here,
something.
but they're not peeking. And just all Juicy on the side. Eventually, Bleed will decide to just come out of the woodworks, and Scars is already left hurting. We talked about it a while ago. The Reina is pretty much the plan.
Wah,
And Bleed
gila,
will
Derion
get
back to
things
jet,
done.
ya kan?
A strong pistol to begin with.
Yeah, repositioning there off of the
Anjing,
pick.
tapi mereka
They
gila
got the
juga ya di
leader.
sini
If he had
pakai
another
Brimstone loh,
dismiss, if he
se-carry
didn't
loh.
buy the gear up, then he could have even gotten away with
Berarti
that
mau
second
mainnya
kill
line
for
up
free.
guys.
And who knows how clean it would have been. But for the meantime, Juicy, Stellar opening already. You have to get confident and you have to get those kills early to get yourself going as Arena.
Even at the youngest age, Juicy has been confidence personified. The way that
Apakah dia all map Brim sekarang?
play a map like this, the way that they're able to play the angles that they work with is because of how Juicy is there in position. Can get helped out in a pinch by his team. But in that round, honestly, he got the job done early on.
Yeah, and now we get to see Darion back on his signature jet, which we've kind of come accustomed to throughout the years. Back then, he's always been that duelist per Bleed. They switch things up now. Lear on the execute, on the entry, and Tarneko trying to front it.
Buset, mati begitu.
Yeah, Scars, no fear to go for contact. At least they get two for their troubles.
Phantom bang, itu bang.
Especially that takedown onto Darion.
Bang, Phantom
But
bang.
in the end, there's still that reliable backline. Bleed already with the plan. Crystal all alone now in a 1v3 slate. He wants to go for all of those orbs here, Black and Blue, but the problem is
Ayo lu,
he's executing
hilang
so
smoke-nya.
quickly that Scars cannot farm up.
Yeah, difficult position for Crystal, of course. 1v3, potentially trying to play the flash and
Sayang nggak sih
show off a bit,
nge-flash?
but
Sayang duit.
well, Neff is decently low enough. I think he's just going to try and go for an exit here. They're going to hunt out for him. We would assume that they will clear him out of this
Balik
corner
yuk.
when they do push, but now Bleed taking the safer option. They know they've already lost all that they want to in this case. Give it on up, and
Killed my bot.
second round coming for Bleed.
No, it's the smartest call. Because
Yep.
if Crystal dies to Bleed's hand, that's one orb for him. If he dies with a spike, oh well, okay, never mind. Definitely gets that takedown. In the end, Crystal does force the hand of Bleed. They do want to build up that lockdown too as soon as possible. But this is where it changes. Scars now, they can actually play aggressive if they choose to.
Aduh.
How's that going to work out is a question. You look at both composition, and it's all about playing that aggressive style. And will Scars here on the defense really pull that out?
Buset,
against
ini
the
mulu
bonus?
kameranya.
Will they maybe fight for mid
Orang dalam
control or
kah dia?
be long? Are those plans in set here for Scars, or are you going to play back as we've seen them? Seems like they're do want to aggress here towards Belong.
I mean, on paper, Scars has the close quarter advantage. They have that Phoenix, they have that Sky.
Yeah.
Flashes can be so
Boleh-boleh
effective
tuh,
on a map
Recon.
like Pearl. But they don't go for the push towards B. Jemkin tucking it away, actually, on the corner of that little cubby there by the
Kurang
pillar.
oksigen gua nih.
Bleed instead. Hanging back for now. Just trying to see that initial rotation for Scars.
You can see Nephir kind of just
Gimana stage kecil? Ya kan,
towards
tapi
mid.
penontonnya masih ada yang lain tadi aja.
mid lurk into that art position when the hit does come. Swing though, Tora and Echo connecting and finding Crazy Guy early.
Yeah, good start here for Scars. If Bleed is kept at a slower pace, then they can take advantage of the utility that they have here. Star setups there. Darion though pushing forward with the dash.
Allah,
Also
si
just
Juicy
battling
begitu
on
amat
down,
matinya.
But Tora Neko will kick him to the curb. Smoke dissipates. And Tora Neko doing everything he can. A 3K till he runs out of bullets. Crystals there for the reception.
Bonusnya
too.
tidak
And
mahal.
Scars, they get their rifle
bonus,
round going.
Byron.
Yeah, good anti bonus here coming in from Crystal and especially Tora and Echo. Just rolls off the tongue. Doesn't it? What a name. Tora and Echo.
Aduh, sakit banget nelan,
Just every consonant
Pak.
supported by a vowel right after.
That's true. It's consonant vowel, consonant vowel.
Yeah, all the way to
Incredible.
the end. Incredible.
Adam Sari masih ngaruh nggak sih, guys?
Indubitably.
Panas dalam?
You wanna read the thesaurus?
Apa cap kaki 3 ya, cap kaki 3?
You have all day while we're watching the replay.
Well, the bonus here certainly not works out for Bleed, but I'm sure that's a give me that they're willing to give on up. Aggressive push here towards
Yang
that
kalah
A-main,
ngaruh,
more of what we're
masih ngaruh.
expecting from a composition like what Scars has got.
Yeah, Bleed here though, vying for mid themselves. They want to go cross through
Aduh,
links.
gua beli
It's
dah.
Allen who is pressured here. Smoke though to cover that cross. Banana Swarm though, trying at least to go for the stall.
Aduh,
The
TJ
alarm
Jahe
bots there
merah.
too,
Hah?
so at least Bleed here.
Kok jadi
keeping
madu?
Scars at bay. They want to go for that B site, but they know the timing has to be perfect.
Yeah.
Can they get the pinch though onto Jemkin? That's the question. The flash is there too.
There's an alarm bot though. Keep him at bay. If in case he does want to chime into this fight here, Allen.
Yang
the defense
permen.
is adjusted. They've rotated. They know it's coming. Allen, big pick. Jemkin a
Dapat
double.
timing.
That's Allen's.
It's all Allen now. Yoshi's there
Buset.
too. And this
Ketahuan nih
is the
skema
problem
midnya
for
nih udah
these
di counter.
esports. If they get stalled, that smoke will eventually be gone. And Scars will be happy to take those sidelines. Crazy Guy though, fighting on back. It's him versus the world. Needs to get that spike back in the first place. But Toro Neko on the flank. There's the curveball too from Crystal. Now they know Yoshi falls.
Ih, gila Crazy Guy anjing. Kalau dia sadar di kirinya tuh gila dah.
Will keep things going for Scars instead.
Yeah, Tora and Echo just finding the timing there to keep him in check.
Panas dalam sama radang beda-beda
Here
dong.
from Scars early, looking pretty tasty.
Emang gua nelan
I guess
sakitnya sakit.
expected that angle would have been cleared. Allen still just waiting, biding his time to strike, and when he did, how effective it was.
Yeah, Bleak cannot hesitate. That's the problem right now. If they
Makan,
run out
tara.
of smokes, they are gonna be caught out by Scars and those sidelines. There is still that hard entry potential from Juicy as well as Darion. Hero rifle
Cari
as
kalah
well
di map
here
sendiri,
for
map
Juicy.
defender, map
So let's see what
defender
he
ini.
can do with that.
Let's see. He does have the Empress. He can lead
Aduh.
the charge here. He can certainly know that
Ulti nggak sih Juicy?
no holds barred. This man can absolutely overrun and roll through the defense if he's given the opportunity. Allen's got the Odin. Potentially has the lineup as well to deny the plant.
Yeah, they're just trying to find at least an inkling of intel. Only problem though, Allen letting it rip. Crystal also trying to get on the outskirts immediately. The running back running out of time.
Okay.
Juicy
Ulti
though
dong,
with the
ulti
takedown
dong.
can still use that for the Devar anyway. But the double up from Yoshi and the rest of
Konyol.
Scars are there. Darion though.
Wih.
The classic
What
is
the
all
fuck?
he needs. The
Ya, dia
bleed
buka
though,
pisau, guys.
trying at least to get more impact. Crazy Guy playing towards Pillar. But the Cosmic Divide will shut things down here for Bleed. The fires though
Good
are there.
eco sini,
Scary
good
with
eco
the
parah.
takedown.
Ulti.
Scary gets the
Gila.
first strike, and here we go again. Scary, oh scary.
Oh,
The
kelihatan,
stall
kelihatan.
is magnificent. The Marshal looking for the shot. Can Crystal get it
Oh,
done?
doesn't have
He's
the
in
angle.
cover,
Masih ada.
and he will get the defuse. too.
Masih
Scary,
ada
though,
waktu
still fighting
ternyata.
back near the tail end of the round. And whoa, the shot.
Iya,
He
satu
had
hit
him.
lagi.
He had him there.
A split second more. Left click would have connected, but look at how much Scars had to commit against an eco. The Cosmic Divide, the run it back off the Phoenix here from Jenkin. That is, rather from Crystal. That's big ultimates committed here on a round that I think,
Ulti lagi anjing.
if you look at the way that Bleed were playing, they're fine to give up, they're fine to lose. They did burn the orbital though on the counter.
What a roller coaster around.
Yeah.
You think, okay, Bleed no chance. Suddenly, oh, Bleed has a chance.
Look at this though. B long once again.
But there you go again, Bleed. They've done this assault before.
Yep.
But they have the rifles now to utilize. Darts there too, just to get a bit of that intel. Darion, of course, clearing out the hallway to begin with. And not only that, an aggressive lockdown here from them. They're trying to bait out Scars, but Champion gets one, and Darion an immediate trade. Allen, though, backing on away. It's Bleed now, going aggressive. Allen shot down. Huge. Juicy goes down. Darion with the catch.
Random
Allen
shot,
again
anjing.
and again. It's just all about contact here, Black and Blue, because Bleed just keeps wanting to push 3v2
Wah,
now.
retake lagi, retake lagi.
Lockdown here going to be difficult, but they have the Hunter's Fury to destroy that from being utilized here. He gets all three to connect.
Ayo, sesekeri, santai ya. Santai ya, sesekeri. Santai ya, sesekeri.
And now it's a 2v1.
A nightmare indeed here for Scars.
Santai ya, sesekeri ini baru nih.
Will do it all.
Gila.
At the end. What a stall from Crazy Guy, but what an angle taken by Scary.
And look how he's able to bide his time there,
Scary.
waiting behind Crystal, and how clear the image looked.
Dari
Hometown
kluts,
hero.
kluts.
This is his neighborhood. And Scars defeated.
Raja terakhir ya.
What an
Ini baru nih
incredible
raja
round
terakhir.
here.
Is
This
back,
is
is
what
back.
they got in spades over any other team in this tournament. Every single player on this team a superstar in their own right.
Bener-bener bikin musuh seker, anjing.
The hand of the opposition. Incredible work by Scars to fight back in that regard. The fact that they were able to get the catch onto both Juicy and Darion gave them a fighting chance. We always talk about reliable backline here for Bleed Esports. And now they go for that B site yet again. This is their standard hit, and they go for more. Jemkin, no different plan.
Apa tuh Jemkin?
But he just can't get the angle from the speed of Bleed's clear.
New schema.
He burns the updraft and the tailwind for that fight. Let's see how they go though. Juicy good on the one, shut down on the back hall. They got the 2v2 trade.
Yeah, that's a gun being picked up here by
Jangan
Yoshi,
konyol,
but
jangan konyol.
Solo
Ini
already
sih
can't
dapat
give
mulu
it to
plannya ya.
Solo instead. Star being popped. He's gonna go for the defuse immediately. Gets halfway. A chance here for Scar. Someone needs to spray. And
Wah, konyol hampir
he
tuh.
was just barely there. He got so close, but Bleed will deny him still.
A stone throws away. A sliver.
Lihat tuh, si
of
Sekeri
the
udah
take.
ulti lagi, guys.
That could have been it. Bleed regain control of the situation. Big kill there to find Allen. Molly. I'm not even sure if that would have been on time. Maybe considering how low he was already, but it would have been super close. Luckily for Bleed, they get. It's really, I guess,
Gak dapat
crazy.
info ya Brima di mana. Kayaknya sih begitu.
It's the Stars versus the Scars. So far, it's Bleed who take the advantage.
All I have to say is, why do these rounds need to go this close all the freaking time?
Because these teams are great.
These teams are incredible.
Lah, kocak,
and
Reggie,
Jemkin
guy.
now making his position.
Mau ngedrone itu kelewatan.
That takedown onto one. Primes the dash to try and get the hell out of there, but Juicy, that's a big pick onto Yoshi. No flashes for cover instead.
Perang terus, perang
Unless
terus.
Crystal can get in position. Jemkin here.
Oh, ada yang terbakar.
He's trying to bail his teammate out, but he was taking some damage there.
It's better than nothing, and he got out anyway.
That's what they needed. He burnt his cloud bursts. No more flash as well for the cross. Look at this. Even Crystal doesn't have flashes for this fight.
Yeah, they use both just to allow that to happen. So a big investment for Scars. And they end up on the 1-for-1 trade instead. Bleed though. They cannot use intel anymore. They're gonna have to just go for a full set moving forward.
Bakar teman emang asik,
Is that what
iya.
this comp is all about? We've been seeing
Kalau haus minum,
Sabtu
kontol.
able to win that A-site hit without that scan from Crazy Guy coming on in, just based off of the hard hit. So if Lee can really find the opening here, which to be fair, they're crawling towards one here on Art, that could really help out.
Yeah, this is Bleed moving towards that A
Indonesia
side
kagak
where
farming
Allen
tahu
is
deh.
awaiting them. A good cross though, staying away from the
Bisa sama Aim kayaknya.
They do get
Kalau
now
nggak
the
ngapain?
Empress too.
Call Vivi Nela.
Bleed commences from Scary's smokes. The plant goes down and now Swarms don't get much. There's the gravity well, but Bleed still keeping on away and they want to play this link position. It's up to Jemkin to just put a
Goblok
dent
lah, kok
in
goblok?
this setup. Waiting for the smoke now to dissipate. Here comes them.
Anjing, si James Sky.
By Jemkin. Now they know. Advantage though
Di-try
here
dulu,
for
Ben.
Scars. And Juicy also shut down immediately. This Empress not making any noise. The Orbital Strike though is the call. And here comes Scary.
Wish,
Burns
dapat,
down
anjing.
Crystal. But they're waiting now and Scars will still get the round.
Big round here from Scars. they're keeping it so close, much more than I thought, especially here in the
Aus
first
minum
half.
baygon ya, udah hilang kan digituin udah.
Seeing as how Bleed have been consistently running away with Pearl every time that they play it. But this Scars team is just something else to behold. And
Gel Bleed siapa? Nggak tahu.
to start things off, Jemkin setting the
Masih
tone
Darion kali,
early
Darion.
and continuing that to close out the round.
Yeah, it's just like what Yoshi said to us when we were having breakfast this morning.
Yep.
They're not gonna back down. They're gonna fight Bleed as much as possible.
Oh,
And
I thought it was, where's the bacon?
True, I asked for him too. I asked him where it was. But this is just proof in the pudding, basically.
Yep.
Scars, they have the utility to try and stall out Bleed. And they're also, themselves, putting themselves at risk just to fight Bleed, just to keep them in those initial corners and kind of waste as much as they can that Bleed still has.
Constantly here, though. Scars have been giving up this connector control. They know that as long as they hold the water, the underpass there, the sewer way, then they don't necessarily need to fight for this connector, especially since they don't have the utility to do so. Yes, they have the Astra Stars, but we've seen Bleed be able to overcome that in the past.
Yeah, they know the angles where to put that plant down. We saw it a while ago in the last one. And here comes the Leer as well. Bleed, though, clearing towards main. And Neff will find Thor and Echo. That's huge here because the gravity well has stalled Bleed so many times already. Allen, though, with a wall back.
Wih,
And
yang
Juicy
dapat yang
the one who
belakang
gets
sial banget si
it
Juicy.
eventually. Bleed, can they get that plant going? The Seekers are there. And
Ya, enggak
Crystal
kok.
in position.
Untung
It's a
aja
break yet
ada
again,
si Nep tuh.
3v3 now. Yoshi trying to go for the push, but the Cloudburst keeps him at bay. Allen eventually, still the spray from downtown. Here comes Crazy Guy, the tap stellar. Allen though with a 3K of his own. And it's 1v2
Nep.
now. All up to Nep to shut this down.
Aman aja, Nep.
There's the
Menang, Nep.
first. Can he get the second? The turret.
Cakep.
Allen's
Cakep,
down.
cakep.
And the 4K for Bleed to clutch it too.
Ice cold from Neff. And he never
Main DBD bareng DF
falters.
Mixin.
You can see here
Huh?
Bleed just recognizing that, especially their Neff recognizing that if he hides his position, if he
Si
cuts
punya
the
DBD.
walls and keeps on guessing, he could have the advantage instead of trading out immediately there, playing the long game. Great spam as well, coming on here. And the retake though is pretty good, I have to say, from Scars. You see
Obeng
them
dapat 2. Iyalah
really
udah
have a
spot-spot
pincer,
pasti
gaining
ditembusin
control
kalau
of
di
that
A mah,
mark position,
wajar.
made that graffiti even more precarious, but it's a clutch at the end, the 4K from Neff that prevails.
Yeah, and the dugout position
Wah,
too, but here
perang,
we
perang,
go.
perang.
Full
Anjing,
attack,
kepres 3.
and Bleed is ready for it. Come to the
Rata.
slaughter. They say the Scars.
Layar
Just like a
kedip-kedip.
meat grinder,
Itu gara-gara
Scars
like-nya
is just
setakan
gone
biasa.
immediately.
Lu tahu settingan OBS gua kan?
1v4.
Otomatis, bro.
That's it.
That's it. Allen, oh no, the turret alarms too, so yeah, they know. You know he's on the flank. Maybe a cheeky right click. Maybe a cheeky left click. Maybe neither of the clicks.
Maybe
will
he
work out.
can get the skill. No, Crazy Guy with the deny. Well, I guess we have this time here.
Yeah.
Bleed Esports. This is such a comfort-based composition. This is something that they practice. This is something they do so very well. They have struggled against the utility of Scars, but they still make it work anyway.
What's funny about the comp is that if you look at it and you didn't know what map it was, you probably think it's a different map.
Yep.
The Solar Brimstone, and then the Sova, and just the Killjoy. It's literally
Lagian
like
konyol si ini ya, siapa?
the most default agents
Si Crystal
you
abis
have
nge-flash kok
into the
kepegangnya
game
pisau ya?
to make it work out anyway.
I would think that this was a composition that came out when Reyna Killjoy was released.
Was
and it was
meta.
like 4 maps only.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, maybe on
Milestone
something
lah
like
1
Ascent
juta.
or a Bind.
Kayak mau ngisi lu amat.
But not in this case. Yet still though, Bleed making it work out on the attack. B-site again.
Yeah, Jemkin's ready. And what
Jim
a
Sky.
shot on the Crazy Guy. Silence immediately. Bleed. Do they just go for the commit anyway? And Naswam's there too. Darion though facing off against Jemkin.
Milestone gua udah kelar, itu buat bayar kuliah lu, bro. Alhamdulillah.
The lockdown's there and I'm waiting for this one. Does Juicy hold and rely on the dismiss?
Juicy, yeah.
Never mind, he cannot fight back. Counter lockdown here from Neff, but Crystal wants to push
Awas,
it
di flash.
anyway. Here comes the flash and there's the clear that they need. Neff holding onto the pillar. Scary though has been consistent so far.
Iya,
No,
knife
not
out
like that,
lagi.
Neff. You never want to go for the knife out in that
Makasih
regard.
banyak.
Scars, they get back on site and they fight and just force Bleed away.
Nice push from Scars. You can see there the flash, a curveball really coming in big when they needed to.
Nggak ngedengar
Denying
kayaknya.
the lockdown, and they just had the proper timing to make it happen. If they stalled even for a bit, then who knows, Bleed might have been more ready for that push. Obviously as well there, the Cosmic Divide just cutting the noise. You can see Bleed unsure if the tap came on in, where the spike is necessarily in terms of utility and what is on it and what they have on it on the opposing side. So
Cengit.
Scars keeping this game close on the defense is all they needed to
Gak ada
do.
timeout nih ya.
Not only that, the prioritization of targets. They always try to stay away from the sight lines of Juicy until they double up on him. That's how they caught out Darion first and foremost. Juicy couldn't find a trade, couldn't go for an orb to work with because he couldn't get that kill. And Scars.
Ahmad, terima kasih dari John member. Welcome back Ahmad. Aduh ya Allah. Mata gua.
Initial contact, Bleed on the chase immediately.
Betul nyut-nyutan anjir, takut iritasi
Darion wants to lead the charge, expecting
kebanyakan lihat layar gue ya.
utility here from Scars.
Apa kebanyakan masuk ke layar?
They're expecting maybe an updraft angle or a recon to come in. But Allen, huge pick. He's been crucial in this hold towards the dugout. They have to clear out Darion though.
Yeah, he's just been sticking around the dugout. He's ready for this angle yet again.
Terbang, Jim Sky.
Crystal also with the run
Buset, lihat nih post play-nya.
You have to rely on the lineup of Scary. He has the armor strike and the molly. He's gonna lob it first
Di molly.
and Scars cannot
Masih punya ulti si Scary, guys.
Someone needs to push here from Scars. Yoshi looking to lead the charge, and Neptune with a different flash.
Untung di ulti.
Strike is there, but Nep will be found.
Masih punya waktu nggak ya?
Out. Well, Scars, they get the clear, they go for the push, and there's just no.
Gak kedengeran anjing suara spike-nya.
Good plan there in the end, especially if they were able to deny even further.
Kecil banget suara, Cok.
That separated the equalized half.
Such a convincing
Mau di
round from
100-in juga nggak ngaruh.
and it went down to the wire. So many of these rounds in the first half have gone down to a matter of seconds. And it is incredible that Scars have able to make it a 6-6 score line. Now we go for the side swap, and this is where it gets interesting.
Claim.
Does Bleed have enough to stop the Phoenix and the Jet
Wah,
together?
you got drop,
what
sabar.
utility do they got really to keep him at bay? They have a recon, they have the molly, a smoke, a thick one for that.
Oh, bangsat
Just
belum
to,
ternyata.
Pull attention,
Tipu.
pull aggro when the execute comes, but they don't have a gravity well. They don't have a guiding light, anything of the sort that at the very least.
Cewek-cewek risih nggak sih kalau punya pacar kecanduan marut kelapa? Hah?
So you can see Bleed, not the same amount of in just all.
Udah nyoba yang di ID sama aja.
We saw from them during map number 1.
Tahu tuh production mana sih?
The only Pinoy
Bang.
on Scars.
Indo, Bang.
Keeping the flag up.
Yeah, it's been wild actually that he ended up on a Japanese squad like this after all these years.
Yep.
And well, Scars has always been very different. Yet again, you look at their roster. Two from
Si
Russia,
Jemkin
basically
ada
have
turunan
your-
Asianya bagaimana,
you
guys?
have a Japanese player.
Maksudnya Asia
You have
sini
two
ya, Asia
Japanese
Tenggara
players
gitu.
also there, and they also come in English. A Japanese rep communicating in English. It's pretty wild on the other side.
I mean,
Same thing for Bleed, you know, they have such a mixed roster.
Dikit
Yeah,
lu gantian di parut
Scars
gimana?
haven't
Hah?
shied away from picking up, talent from other regions. Let's not forget, Modski used to be here. Josh S also used to be on Scars for a bit. So both of these organizations really understanding that some diamonds in the rough can be found wherever you look.
Yeah, it's not where you come from, it's how you get there. And now
Telat nih baru balik gawe, aman. Sungai di like yang baru join.
They can show that they are the best of the best of their group. Darion denies Crystal of to Jemkin too. This was the Darion that was feared from
Getar-getar
last
dikit.
year. The signature Jet getting the 2 duelists already.
Darion, huge picks here. The Dragon Rider foaming at the teeth. Angry off those comebacks from Scars. And the answer back here to open up with a pistol round. 2 picks certainly would benefit them. Now Scars pivot to try and go towards his B side, losing both their duelists. How do they make their way in? They got some smokes at least.
Yeah, they're moving towards Club into the site itself. Crazy guy though. Gets the intel already. Bleed have the advantage. They can cede control of the site if they want to. The Crazy Guy, a different plan.
He's
looking to
running back
go
and
for
forth.
holes. Goes over onto the corner. Darion's there though to help on
Ih,
out. A
kesekian
beautiful
3.
start.
Cakep
And here we
banget
go
KDG
yet
gue.
again. Crazy Guy sets things up and Bleed
Der,
esports
der.
ready to knock things down. Thoro
Darion dapat.
Shadows playing inside
Oh,
the
okay.
smokes, but he's caught by
Mantap.
Bleed and the lead stays with him.
Bleed keep the lead. Scars crucial pistol round they needed to start swinging some momentum
Jam
back their way.
berapa?
That
Jam
was the
7 nanti
swing
bronze match.
that they were hoping for, but isolated in these fights could not connect their shots to
Timnya Atil ya lawan siapa? Londeng Mim ya, Londeng Mim.
Said beautiful scan. All three confirmed where their positions were, and in the end, just the odds were.
Wah, apakah real itu coy?
That's why you want to put Crazy Guy on that Sova. A single scan, he knows exactly where to get the
Lu nobarin juga nggak tahu.
Ya
tentar. Ini kan lagi Ascension, gimana sih bang?
They have to rethink a few of their plans moving on to the attacking side. It was just so different on the defense. They knew that Bleed was going to barrel down on them. But now in this half, it's more of the backline that they're worried about.
It's a man for the scan. And you're right about that backline because Juicy actually hasn't
Gas lah nobar
himself a great
VCT.
game. He's on 6 frags right now, bottom fragging his team. It's all
Lihat
about
gak tuh yang
the kills,
dibiruin
obviously,
tuh?
but when you're
Coba
Reina,
tulisannya apa?
it imposes a bit more
Nih bang, nih.
problems on your squad if you can't get that Reina going, because half of your utility, the majority of your utility and abilities can only be used after getting a kill anyways. So how do they enable that more? Maybe now on this side of the field, on the defense, they can get Juicy into positions where off a retake or anything of the sort, he can chime into a fight, dip back out of a smoke, and they can play a retake with an advantage, something like that.
Yeah, but the post plan still from Bleed. There's always that second plan. They have a credible stall from Scary. He's top fragging right now, and it's a big reason why he's getting these orbital strikes at the most opportunistic moments. We can't forget that first half. Got that kill, went for the laser beam, and it was quite a show from him. At the very least, recovery is still possible here.
Kalau nggak kocak,
they are, of course, on the eco.
Gak seru negara kita bro.
Bleed Esports, they're ready yet again to play a 2-1-2
Kudu banyak
split
kocaknya.
and keep tabs on the rotations of Scars here.
6 to 7.
Apalagi di loat-loat tuh ada yang, waduh.
Looking to start building up a proper
Dan
lead.
gak luat judul tuh.
Vector control being seized
Jadi
away
bener
here
gua
by
ngomong.
Scars. They're looking to quickly rotate
Buset tuh
towards
burung.
that A side to defense, trying to
Burung
adjust,
tepu,
trying to
anjing.
anticipate it. It's really the pressure here on the Juicy to perform and get a pick.
Yeah, smart movement here from Scars, at least wrapping on around to make their way towards A side. He does.
Ih, ngumpet itu ya Allah.
Nef there for
Rame!
cover, but
Rame!
Juicy's been waiting, and eventually he'll get the takedown. Wants to
Lah,
isolate these fights
kocak.
with Allen.
Juicy
That's a big
anjing.
shot here. 3v2. It's Bleed now with the lesser numbers.
Yeah, they're all low. Luckily, they can get back up to speed with the incendiary. But Crazy Guy takes him down. Shock dart.
Kena Sokdar, mantap. Menanglah Darion, cok.
1v1 as Toroneko goes low.
Lah,
The shot
kocak.
connecting from Toroneko. What a round.
What a steal here from Scars. They just rotate towards the connector, move over to that A side, and they just didn't push the envelope until it was the right time. They saw the smoke
Kak,
coming
Ditski,
their way.
apa,
They knew
expensive
that
lah,
something
hilang
was
kodok lu
amiss
expensive.
anyway. And they found Juicy. That's the
Pantesan member
biggest
berkurang nih.
problem there for Bleed Esports. You still need to get those kills just to try and chain things up. What a find by Scars in the end.
Well, one thing I haven't really seen Juicy, not that I know any better, but I haven't really seen him use a kill as a buffer. And what I mean as a Reina is that sometimes you don't have to dismiss immediately as you get a kill. And you can use that as a buffer to see what your safe zone is for a few seconds. And that's just something we haven't really seen him individually pull off here. As Scars have just been finding every way to punish him.
Yeah, Bleed's the one now, hurting on the economy. They at least have the Marshal here for Darion. They're going for the save, actually. And Scars go for mid yet again. You do wonder, though, what's the plan for Crystal and Jenkin when the spike's all the way on Yoshi's hands? Quick little regroup as they move towards Link, and looks like B-side being the call here.
Yeah, not the best weaponry for Bleed. Not too many expectations for them in this round. Darion makes contact. Great shot off of Darion. Let's see if he can provide more.
Yeah, Bleed can work with whatever they have, but Toroneko does the rifle, gets that takedown onto the side here now for Scars, and he even gets Nef too. They're keeping tabs on the high ground. Bleed struggling to make their way towards the side. Juicy though, that's big to kill Yoshi. Only problem is the VAR. It's been stopped. It has been a struggle for him to actually get back in a good position.
Yeah, you can see here, he's trying to be aware of the spam. So Allen, biding his time, smoke up towards Heaven, actually isolate. And that doesn't smoke off Heaven, but the idea there is to force Juicy into the corner where they can anticipate the peak.
Yeah, Scars is just waiting for Bleed to run into them. They have such strong setup so far, such a good position.
It's also a one-way.
And Toro Neko is ready for anyone who comes from the high ground. Even
Iya, ilah tutakannya si Juicy kelihatan.
Clear to be unleashed. 3 for
Yeah.
Toro Neko, and the lead goes to Scars now.
Scars retaliate. What a way to do so. When Bleed just were looking to run away with the map. We actually possibly have a map number 3, Dax. If they can continue their play here, Bleed they simply do not have the utility to fight back on the defense the same way they did on the attack.
Yeah, you notice for Bleed when they play against other teams on Pearl, they just go for the overpower and condition them in the long run. Scars has weathered that storm. Now that they have this lead, they can use that Astra to full advantage. The curveballs and the sky flashes have been exceptional as well in those kind of fights. It's a big reason we've seen Bleed and their duelist shut down.
You see Bleed here trying to split the A site, hit them from multiple points of contact. Art position is theirs, run it back, popped on the Phoenix ultimate to try and buy them some space. They have to know one is towards his dugout. Crystal taking that backside control.
Kocak.
But look at Juicy
Oh, the
fall.
volley.
He just stayed
Kebakar
there
lagi si Juicy,
because of the
anjing.
initial
Bau banget
angle
anjing
Crystal
dia.
took.
Bener-bener
Now it
diincer
will
kayaknya
just
nih.
be that 1-for-1.
Scary,
There he
mantap.
goes, spraying things down. Jemkin also now done for this round.
Wah, di ulti.
Cosmic Divide though gonna be the call here. Scars trying to separate Bleed away from
Eh.
themselves. And here comes
Ya,
Crystal
ilah.
out too. They find out that it's 3v3.
Sebeton nih.
Crystal playing right beside this wall. There's the shot dart. There's the knife.
Ih, di pisau.
Slash in.
Kahit
Five
itu.
HP
Aduh,
now
kalau
for
klikaran
Crystal.
mati tuh, guys.
They regenerate just a little bit with the Blaze wall itself. But Bleed, they want to get in there.
What
Crystal
the
still has some
fuck?
fear. 3 for Crystal. Darion's up. Gets that shot. But can he go?
Alah,
Not
dia
gonna
ngepick
happen.
lagi.
Scars again denying Bleed.
And they hold on. Crystal, huge round for him. What a gem they've been able to pick up and keep this player coming in as a trio. Let's not forget Crystal, Taraneko, Jemkin. These boys have been playing with each other for over a year, even before Scars. And for them to stick around and stick together, look at what it's provided. Look at the results.
And did you notice how
Gak
Crystal
mati-mati
played
si
that?
Crystal di situ
He
ya.
just healed up with the Blaze, and then he still went in.
Iya, satu lagi
Bleed,
bad boom
they
jam
thought
segini.
they had some time to set things up and time
Map
their
3 kah?
things accordingly. There is just no time when you're facing off against Scars, and especially the double duelist that is ready to fight back against them.
He got the kill with the hot hands too there
Yeah.
towards that dugout. His molly basically, right?
He was spraying the exit of dugout.
Yeah, so it just made it so much more difficult for the cross to happen, and it's nice assumption for Scars to recognize that possibility. Darion trying to dip in here. Back
Jemkin
off.
tagged up already by the drone. Darion's blades are looking sharp. The Crystal stunned on up for the time being. Yoshi's here with the plant 2 and Scars already on site. This is close though and exactly what Bleed wants to make that
Wih,
3
drifting
for
kah?
them immediately.
Cuy!
Rifles being popped up as well.
Walah!
Jemkin's there
Ini
towards
dia
the
nih.
corner. Gets a double kill before he
Gas!
stops. 1v2, it's all up to Taraneko. Facing off
Udah
against
setengah,
Scary.
let's go.
Juicy, though, getting halfway done. There's the Molly though in the
Perang dulu
lane.
dong.
Scary, there's
Cakep,
the switch to Juicy.
Scary.
And Bleed and Esports do bite back.
Bleed finally respond, especially in an eco round of theirs, converting to Thrifty just when they needed to and had more than enough time to spare. 9-8, Bleed will not let this go away. They'll keep it in check, keep it in the pocket. Big kill here from Darion especially because it buys the space here for Juicy to be able to take that Jetty position and get a kill on back.
Rada
home.
keter dikit.
It's also supported or crafted truly by Scary. The way he puts up those smokes, he can isolate these certain angles that Jet of Darion can take advantage by getting in a more prime position. This is why they still run that Brimstone. They want to drop as many smokes as they can to just find these angles of opportunity.
Yeah, an immediate pace too. Just
Si
all
Scars
of a
belum tahu
sudden,
ya?
They just drop.
It just drops out of the sky. Behold, the sky is falling. Scars, they're playing chicken right now.
Ini ada VCS, ada perebutan juara 3.
Waiting to strike.
Yeah, the spikes there. Left behind by Scars as of right now. Looking to play a few more of those defaults. They're actually playing so passive here. Watching the flank even. And eventually now, with that arc control, is a chance to go for that A site. They're still waiting though for Bleed to actually peek at them. Nef's here prepared. Curveball being primed. Trailblazer though the call. Nef backing on away for the time being. And the lockdown to make space as well here for Scars.
Yeah, just to ensure even more control. A main though, I think they confirm that Darion is there due to the guiding light, so they should know that there is presence towards a main. You can see them marking, you can see them trying to clear it on out. Operator.
Dar! Oke. Lagi Der. Cakep. Oh, saya mana? Oh, cakep des kanan. Awas, awas, awas. Aduh. Ayo, Santai habisin sekarang. Nice, udah Emen lah, Emen.
That Lake Lurk, will it stand a chance? The Lear just blocking his vision.
Darion
Here
peek.
comes Darion yet again. He's hungry for another kill. Still a good stall here from Toroneko. And Toroneko at least.
Apaan
The shot
tuh,
on
anjing?
Darion, but it's not enough. Bleeding
Buset.
Sports off the back of Darion.
Di
That's
one tap
their
gitu.
round.
The Dragon Rider strikes, breathes fire. They tie up the
Mengerikan.
game. What a way to do it, Q. Nice
Plak.
attempt here. Ample for sure by Toroneko, especially this tap at the end. Bam, swift and
Buset,
clean.
apaan tuh ya?
But Darion holding down a main, destroying absolutely Scars, trying to take the space.
How many of Scars pushed a main?
Triple.
How
Tree.
many died to the operator?
3.
3 out of 3, 100% there from Darion. And the maximum effort needed by Bleed just to tie up the scoreline. That's the beauty of Bleed Esports. Every single one of their players
Legia.
superstars in their own rights.
Yeah, we've been
Time
talking
out
about that, the
Scars.
Stars versus the
Baru nih
Scars.
bertime out.
In this case, so the Stars align.
Yang baru join dapat like adik-adik.
Retaliate,
Biar WP.
tie up the game 9-9. We're entering the final act of this map number 2. It could go either way. If Scars are able to come back into this, then what a matchup it really would
Alhamdulillah.
be. These are two of the favorites, maybe aside from D+. In
Kalau
terms of
tergini di map
getting to that
23 boleh
grand
ganti pemain
final.
boleh.
And we're getting an incredible matchup.
Yeah, this is what we expected coming out of this matchup. A favorite now in Scars, proven through their adversity on Pacific Ascension alone. But of course, the history, the reputation, and all the potential that Bleed has, this is what they can do against
Anjay.
any kind of opposition.
Phoenix mode avatar.
I feel like this is going to be such a big round for both sides. This is where, honestly, the momentum can shift in either one's favor.
This round, crucial. Whoever wins this takes the lead and forces the opposing side into a really bad economic state. Neither
Berapa kali chance
comfortable right
gantinya?
now in terms of what
Chance?
they've got in the bank. Opening pick for Champion.
Boleh terus ganti kok.
There he is yet again. A nice shot with the operator in whatever space.
Misalnya di map
Scars
1
want
main,
to
di
work
map
with.
3
It's
main
erased
lagi bisa.
immediately by the rifle in the hands of Darion. And also, Juicy, a different plan. A one-man army looking to face off against many. Allen will first fall. The dismiss to keep
Perang
him
lagi.
in cover. He still needs to get another kill to try and fight on back. Second
Temen lu
clear
mana?
right here.
Anjing,
The
gak ada
Empress
temen.
gonna be
Gila.
online too, but the smoke is engaged. Safe
Gila.
for carry so
He
far.
actually pops the Empress before backing off. I thought he'd go for a fight in that case.
Gue kira mau ngepick
Before
lagi di
being
anjir
free,
Empress. The
Bleed
fuck, ngapain
stands with the
ngapain ulti ya?
advantage. And I think it dissuades Scars from just barreling on in, so they pull on back after the opening picks.
I think that's a shot call right there. Because they saw the smokes, Juicy was thinking about it. Juicy thought he was forced to fight. But in the end, they
Nanti
get the
LCK
disengage.
ada yang
Still,
turun kah?
2
Hah?
smokes gone here from Bleed Esports.
Pemenang ini kan naik di
Scars,
Pacific.
they playing smart. They can't
Hah?
take the advantage. Juicy again though. Still holding
LCK
towards
ada yang
lane.
turun. LCK
Gem
kan buat ke
swings
champion,
by.
Bang.
Patience here from Juicy. He knows Yoshi's coming his way. There's the smoke. And Juicy still gets a takedown. Darion 2. Another one bites the dust here for Scars.
Match
Off
berapa?
in
Match
the
kedua.
pace there, catching them off
Map kedua.
guard. And now the spike way out of control for Jemkin. It has to be a safe call. No other way to
Lagi
make
pakai
this
liquid.
happen.
Tanda
You
seru
can
liquid
drop a
aja.
rifle to maybe Yoshi pop his blades for the next
Mau
round.
nanya dong VCS
From
kapan
then
lagi?
on,
Malam ini ada
it's anybody's
VCS.
game.
Yeah, but
Jam
this is
7.
where Bleed start to run away with it. A chance here with the operator thanks to Darion. A chance to keep building up that economy even more so. And it's Scars here, as you mentioned a while ago, who'll be hurting in this
LCK
round.
bisa pakai
What a
deadlock.
catch
Gua nggak
though
tahu.
from Darion immediately. They look
Datanya
crazy,
nanti
guys,
ya,
sure,
bulan
but he still holds the angle.
tengah bulan ya? Tengah bulan kayak.
That's what they need off of him, right? Gain that information, and Crazy Guy was like,
Oh, nggak
maybe
kehitung
I
ya?
gain
Hah?
information with a recon.
Apanya nggak kehitung?
I gain it by dying, but it's information nonetheless.
At least he gets the call going, right? And Bleed, they do have to still deal with a few rifles now moving forward. Scars has had enough to scrounge whatever they can. They do have the run it back as well. So a chance still for Scars here to barrel down the way that they want. Nah, he's the one anchoring down this B site already. Yoshi, Crystal, They want to utilize those flashes to begin with. And not only that, the Cosmic Divide is the call. Trailblazer scouting out the opposition. The lockdown already used here by Nef, though, in anticipation.
Oh, look at this. Right back. All the way. Crazy Guy gets the one. Jemkin on the trade. They do have the Cosmic Divide set up, but the lockdown gets two.
Yeah, now this is
Astagfirullahaladzim, dapat aja dia. Astaga.
Same kind of case, and it's 2v2 now. Scars though, still don't get the
Gak ada
point
info
going.
itu.
Jemkin with a spray.
Oh, mereka nggak tahu info, anjir.
Juicy though left in the 1v2 situation. Jemkin and
Gak usah
Alan
dipikirin.
trying to find this Reina. But Alan's so low.
Si Abu bingung. Padahal gue bisa jawab semua loh, tinggal lu pertanyaannya tinggal lu benerin aja. Gue sebenarnya paham kok maksud lu. Kan emang gue pengen ini aja.
Doesn't know Alan's there.
Ketahuan.
Menang
Juicy gila.
Here for Bleed. A 2-round gap now after the clutch.
It's Juicy's world, and we're just living in it. The Reina, the Empress, coming in big when it matters the most. And he has certainly established his kingdom on towards that B-long lockdown, killing the momentum of the attacking Scars. And a single round away from match point Bleed are.
ICS stream nggak tahu, lihat nanti ya.
It always goes down
Lagi
to the wire
Ascension
in
lu,
this
bro.
map alone. But yet again, Bleed remembering this is their turf. This is how they just fight on Pearl. And not only that, just the fearless angles we have seen. That lockdown there from Net, getting so much value. The way that Crazy Guy swung.
Stream member only. Oh, final enggak. Enggak streaming kalau final.
Bleed here. They are
Gua
playing
konten.
pretty tactically sound, but you can tell that sometimes it's about skill diffing the opposition and how they play.
Gabus Imo, oh belum, gue baru kebuka Diamond 3 gue kebuka ya.
One that's so gung-ho against him. Curveball out,
set.
Scary pushed away.
Yeah, Scary getting back to cover, but
Okay,
Juicy's
Juice.
still here. And
Punya
now
flash, Juice.
he's feeling it. Rolling in a bit of momentum, but
Iya, kamu di belakang.
come from the middle. Stellar shot to surprise Bleed.
Yeah, nice flank here coming from
Gue main lagi kapan
They
besok?
needed that second supporting line. Double peek onto this. Darion connected on with a Seeker. They know he's on the backside. The cross difficult. Darion still connects.
How does he even get that kill?
Dapat 2. Kalau gue 2 tuh.
The double swing there from Scars.
Si
Now
gua.
it leads to a 1v3. And all eyes are on Nef instead. He's waiting for Scars to retreat back his way. Flicks
Okay,
him
Nef.
over to get that take. Now
They're
Thoranek
low.
was so low already. Here we go yet again. Can Bleed get the 1v2 done? Nef though with a Nano Swarm. Good stall from Allen in response. Scars getting into safer positions. They know they can use utility to try and go for this wall. But Nano Swarm's broken. Toroneko swings, but he's dead.
Lah, setengahin.
30 HP left.
Lah, setengahin lah.
He's trying to survive the turret, gets a catch on Allen. There's the swing.
Ya, kamu jongkok, Nep. Nakal banget. Coba diem berdiri.
Spray connects in the end, keeps Scars
Udah galau itu padahal.
away from match
Si
point.
Allen.
I was so close to the peak there coming from Toroneko as he was punished.
M80 sih
HP.
tadi pagi dibantai. Iya aneh anjir
Could have been a
M80.
dream here for Bleed to take it in that round. A huge lurk there from Allen. Starts off. the
Padahal
round
Koala
and
bagus
ends it.
mainnya.
Yeah. This was such a big round from Allen, and
Yeah.
it's something that Scars has been looking for from him. A bit more of that consistency, because when he brings that impact, he's just that extra gunner that can make wondrous things happen. We've seen how it is when he struggles in that matchup, I believe, against Bonkers. But now, Scar is here, one away from tying things up. The Blade's out for Darion, though, and they go for that main push instead.
All right, here, Scars. They got the lockdown on the attacking side. Bleed, Hunter's Fury to disable that unless they find Crazy Guy with an early pick here. Aggressive push by the defensive side of Bleed towards a main. They've cleared all this space. They might just catch
Do they
Scars
expect
off
this?
guard. I don't think so.
Oh, they're not ready for it whatsoever.
Kaget sih ini, kaget sih.
Lu
Lu nembak duluan lu Juicy, Lucy. Oke, Darion mantap. Wah, harusnya rata itu 3 guys. Astaga, Jus. Nice banget, Crazy Boy.
A different postal code, but it's still Bleed sending it.
Out of nowhere, that connects to a Crazy Guy. He has timing of this as well. Allen, he has to get this pick. He's not even ready on this one. He gets the kill.
Well, apparently
Banyakin
he was.
bengong, iya.
More so of the action. 2 for Allen as Bleed.
Lihat apakah Raja terakhir bisa menyelamatkan drone ini, guys.
Here they come from the high ground. Scary at the very least, trying to assess the situation. Allen though back into the
Smoke dulu gak
hallway.
sih?
Crucial round.
This is big. He has the smokes to work with at the very least. And where's Juicy now?
They got the leer.
They want to go for the push. They
Okay.
prioritize Allen first. They know he's been a threat. And down goes Allen. Crystal
Nice, Raja terakhir.
from Scary there. Bleed.
Dia nggak tahu
They are
Brimstone
now
dari
on
mana.
series
Bagus ngebait
Perfectly
skema.
playing the trade. Could have had the
Oi,
run it
tante.
back afterwards, but it only came too late. Match point for Bleed.
2-0 kah cuy?
You see there the benefit of having that rain up. Juicy on an opening fight here, even while flying to get back to safety. Otherwise, he almost assuredly would have been dead. But they still get the round 12-10. Scars, even with the heroics of Allen, just could not make it happen.
Yeah, they just find that Killjoy. It got close yet again because Scars are willing to fight. We saw from Allen, now he's been racking up these kills. He's been instrumental for the past few rounds. And a
Ay, buat
timeout
dulu,
actually
Bleed.
called by Bleed in this regard. They
Amali nggak nih,
they
guys?
are barely winning these rounds, barely scraping by because of the heroics we've seen from Scars here.
Barely is an understatement. Scrappy rounds, one after the other. A complete
Apakah Boom bisa lawan
mishmash
Bleed yang sekarang? Bisa lah.
of just different ideals.
Soalnya kemarin kan Boom ganti pemain ya, ngeganti Famose sama Famous.
But it's Bleed who have just been
Kemarin
something
Famous bagus
menace.
tuh. Kalau yang hari pertama Famose kurang tuh kurang.
Getting that round, he has been a nightmare.
Kak nggak main Battle Beat lagi? Main, cuman belum di streamingin lagi kak.
Again and again. Even if you have to deal with Juicy, even if you have to deal with Darion, Scary's utility has been absolutely on point.
Dari nama
Everything
jersey.
he creates for Bleed Esports is to their advantage. The way he's using those smokes, the way he's able to set up the retakes, and of course, when he gets that orbital strike going, it's even better there. This might be it for Scars.
Apaan lagi mantap, boy, bagi satu lah Malmer, Red Dog. Di Bandung ada nggak ya? Gue sih dulu belinya di BSD.
There were times though they've been able to dismantle that, especially if they can get in close, use those curveballs to their advantage. They've got to run it back. It has to come in big.
Oh ada
Guy in the light now,
di TSM.
trying to go for the
Red
bit of
Dog.
intel towards Art. But Gem can
Lu beli
hear.
yang mana Mer?
Blades immediately lose.
Habis
Make or break
anjing,
Roman.
gak
They
dibagi
can
gua.
actually make their way towards that A site, but look at the utility setup by Bleed already. It's perfect to catch out that cross.
You got to run it back, yes, but the Empress as well for Juicy
Pengen
here.
main cuma gak ada temen
Second
mainnya.
life
Coba
versus
tanya
a
adik-adik
second
nih,
chance
banyak
off
kok
the
yang
dismiss.
viewer yang main Battle
Darion,
Beat.
he's ready for this. He knows they're
Yang
coming.
menang satu.
Juicy trying to play
Kan
off
lu
the
beli 4.
contact. He gets the kill only on
Oke,
the right
Darion.
back. Jemkin could pick off.
Yeah, Stellar
Malah
trade
mati
and
kamu, Darion.
Allen 2 on the board opens up avenues here for Scars to go for that B site.
Yeah, that's what they needed here. Crazy guy being taken on down by Allen. That's huge. They now should have that B side control. A
Habis
full
ini orang utan sama
5v3.
D+ ya. Aduh, D+
Seen him
kasihan
lose
sih
this
anjir.
on Fracture.
Lakiannya doang
This
jago.
could be a different story.
Yeah, timing here, but Scars
Tapi
with
mereka
the
lumayan
clear.
rapi sih untuk
Well
mainin
done.
utility-nya ya. Aduh.
Be noticed by Yoshi.
Halo,
This will be
halo.
a save basically. They
Yeah,
want to
has
keep
to
the
be.
operator for the next
Gue
round.
ngomong bindeng ya, anjing.
Look at their economy.
Ngedengung
That's the
sendiri
best
nih gue
one
ngomong.
coming into the final one of regulation. So, Bleed. They're gonna let this one pour. 11 to 12. The score shall be. And Scars will bring us to the
Full
final
moza,
round
moza
of
sosis, sosis,
regulation.
kentang moza sosis. Oh.
Overtime, once more, a possibility.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the score lines so far. The closest we've ever seen.
Ngedengung
between
sendiri
Bleed
gue
and
ngomong,
another
tau gak sih
team
lu?
was against X10,
They're hunting
going
him.
to overtime. But Juicy.
Wow,
being
wow,
hunted.
wow.
Scars knows they want to get rid of this operator ASAP. Scary though with the takedown.
Ah, Juicy nggak bisa OP kah? Jus, anjing. Jus.
But he cannot find
Wah!
the last few
Pamali
in the
memang,
clip
guys.
to catch out Crystal there in the end. So they lose the operator, and Scars, they went hunting truly.
Feels more like a game of Monopoly right now. How much you can make the opposing side spend more than you. And Bleed.
Disney Plus Kia, Disney
Difficult.
Plus.
Look at their buy. A Bulldog. I think a Marshall I caught there before the cutout as well. Before we get into replay, Scars have just been putting utter importance into
Bahaya nih
making
tim-tim
sure
susah closing.
that Bleed are as unequipped as possible coming into the final.
Yeah, this is crappy here from Bleed. They need to go for the fight as soon as possible. Juicy though, backing on away immediately as Scars get that main control going.
Yeah.
They have to be very careful. They still have the Cosmic Divide though to utilize if ever.
The only true rifle on Bleed is on Juicy, so all eyes on him, how he will perform in this round. Can he get something going when they need him the most? As that Reyna dips in and out of the fight, those type of things are crucial. They crawl back up here towards A main after the initial contact. And as he said, the cosmic divide here. How did they utilize it?
Smokes are
Harus
there,
pakai
though,
kompe-nya Paperek.
trying to
Iya,
create this
Paperek
initial
kompe.
push. The Molly's there too at the same time. And Jemkin and Crystal spray down where Scary's position. Juicy still trying to hold towards the dugout here.
Oh,
They
oh,
just-
nggak
do they
ketahuan.
go? Do they find
Iya,
it? And the double up
kocak.
enough. Neff and Crazy Guy though, at least fighting on back. Getting in effective range. The lockdown 2 here from Bleed Esports. And
Yoir,
Neff-
makasih udah join member. Welcome Yoir.
From Neff.
Aduh.
Finding the targets and the lockdown about to pop soon. The Blaze is there though, keeping
Masih punya
now
itu.
bit of
Si Crystal.
cover. The gravity well stops the defuse in time. 2v2. Darion trying to
Fuck,
hold
gak
things
dipakai
down.
E-nya loh.
There's the shot. Crystal with a third. Neff getting
Baru
halfway.
dipakai
He's
sekarang.
so low on the HP already. And it's gonna be
Wah,
too difficult to
OT
stand
bro,
versus
bro.
Stars. We go
Mau
to
nanya kenapa
overtime.
bro?
Overtime, it shall be. And one of the most anticipated matches of the group stages, delivering here for the second map of this series. And you can tell, serious faces now on Blade. No more of those hijinks we saw on Fracture, as Scars have given them a fight.
Yeah, it's been clinical for Bleed in that.
Kalau
first
login
map,
follow
but
pakai
here on
Google
the
lama
second,
ya. Nah, itu saya kurang tahu karena saya tidak pakai Google. Coba adik-adik yang pakai Google dijawab karena saya tidak tahu.
Never
Oh,
losing
Sultan.
that kind of confidence. You always see Crystal trying to make that space and get in there. And then even the backline, Allen has just been absolutely clutch. Toro Neko as well. These are the names that they've taken a backseat towards Jemkin, and they're now at the forefront instead.
They've certainly pushed the envelope here, Scars, on what was expected for this map, especially
Aku
Pearl
cepat.
being the flawless one to Bleed.
Coba
And imagine the
di
way
itu
to
dulu
put a
di
scar on
apa
the record
dipancing
here,
VPN
Bleed,
mungkin
put a
ya
blemish
kan.
of Blister to take away
Playoff-nya
their
berapa tim?
perfect map,
Playoff-nya
especially in
6 tim.
overtime. Odin out here for Allen.
Wow. On overtime?
Yeah.
Kan kenapa nih Crazy Guy lagi buat track gak dihujat, tapi kalau Ucil dihujat karena Crazy Guy bukan orang Indonesia.
They're crossing.
Also, on the A site, you can deny plant with it if you're in dugout.
Yeah, we've seen him do it so many times.
Yeah.
Just even with a rifle. In the end, though, eyes are on Jemkin. He's tagged down by the Owl drone. Yoshi going for the flash, but Jemkin still
Apaan Ucil
struggling to get
dihujat
out
lah.
there.
Dia nggak
Eventually,
nonton.
the cross is possible. The Lear's used here by Bleed too to try and catch out anyone to no avail.
Yeah, that smoke was placed there to help them back on the cross, to not let the early pick go away. But that
Whoa.
still comes towards Bleed. Darion, what a shot.
What an opening made, and now Bleed the confidence to push forward towards the site. There's the smoke towards tower yet again. The Lear to try and clear out these closer angles, but Crystal now with the flash, and Crystal looking clear here for Scars that they're fighting back. Juicy though on his own rampage.
Dari tadi, Kek?
2v1. The Odin is the only one still standing. Spots out Neff though, lets it rip. Juicy now trying to find things. Just waiting. He wants to catch Allen out, but too many bullets. Clutch here for Allen. 13 to 12, it's Scars
Konyol.
on that point.
The Odin, the All-Father.
Udah bisa
coming in
kawan,
big.
emang sabar kuncinya. Mantap.
He cracks down from the heavens and strikes. 13 to 12. Scars take match point on first overtime. And what a way to do it as well. Crystal too. Huge round he had. Maybe only a single kill, but he enabled all of that to happen as Flash connecting, sending Bleed into a frenzy to bring it to a 1v2.
Yeah, just Juicy didn't expect that kind of movement there with the Odin. I didn't expect him to crouch.
Bung
Actually,
Esport
but
kawan
then
main.
again,
Apa?
the control there from Allen. Scars now in a position to actually just get on the records, to get on that history books that they can beat Bleed here.
Certainly not what they anticipated here. Nano Swarm on top of the art. Maybe, rather, Alarm Bot on top of the art box. Alert them once Scars comes their way, so Bleed can keep tabs on that. Flash is on through, push here towards that connector. Crazy Guy trying to pepper them down early, but they're doing a good job of not being too persuaded by it.
Yeah, they're staying away as much as possible. Recon now gets the intel, and Neff is the first to fall. There's the dart too. Crystal still keeping the front line here for Scars. They haven't really backed down in any shape or form until they're rotating.
And after they
Kenapa
get
nggak
the
ada
kill, you
tim
can
dari
see them
Middle
pull
East atau
back.
Afrika?
Because Bleed, they anticipate more connector pushes, right? But suddenly, the brunt
Ada mah
of
kayaknya ada,
effort
cuman emang nggak
will
masuk
come up here
liganya
towards
kayaknya
this A
guys.
main. Guy confirms close presence. Juicy, he get a kill, he gets a one. Does
Wah.
not dismiss out.
Yeah, look
Tercumbek kah, manis?
Juicy. And these picks are going in favor of Scars immediately. A dash in here from Jemkin. They're clearing out the site.
Harusnya mereka itu Middle East masuknya ke EMEA ya.
As Scars have adjusted accordingly. There we
East
go
Middle,
again.
Europe,
Run it back.
Afrika,
Crystal too. And
Asia.
Crazy guy will get rid of that second life. It's all up to Scary now. 1v3 in front
Afrika.
of the home crowd. Scars though playing back yet again towards main. The clear is so important, but a stack is there from Scars instead. Smoke out onto the spike as well. And it's just Scars waiting for that sound cue. There's the tap. Scary trying to back on away. The blaze is there though. And Scars leaves a lasting mark on the Bleed record books. Finally, Bleed will lose on Pearl this year. And we
guys.
go for a third map.
Ada kemarin gue liat tim Saudi tuh, ada kan EMEA kan?
No longer is it unblemished. No longer is it 13-0 as they
Cuma
deliver the
160
first
orang.
loss here on Pearl for Bleed. What a recovery from Scars. I love how their tenacity, their perseverance.
Yang berjuangnya pada like adik-adik ya, like-nya cuma 300, layaran ntar kedap-kedip loh. Kalau nggak stuck.
The fact that they're willing still to stand toe-to-toe to that Jet Reyna setup, despite having a lot more options coming into the post plan, they made that work by being as active as can be.
I mean,
Bila ada nama timnya Falcon, oh ya Falcon ya.
have that recognition.
Aku mau lanjutin dulu. Teretong, teretong, terererererererererot. Anjay, ngapain gue nih? Apakah aku akan terlempar oh enggak? Kok kesini gue tolol? Teng terad, dadaderet teraret. Belit banget gak sih? Gua sih belit sih. Jatuh. Ayamku. Ayamku. Hey,
Hold
goblok.
on to your youthful enthusiasm. You can put it to better use when you're older.
Ih, goblok mau jatuh mulu di sini. PS. Goblok. Apakah kita akan tertampol naga? Oh enggak. Si naga tiba-tiba turun, si anjing nih namanya. Kok gak dekat, Bang? Bang! Siapa tahu ada yang berubah di sini ya kan? Kita lihat dulu. Gak ada kayaknya guys, gak ada yang berubah. Bisa langsung gak sih di sini? Gue lupa aja. Terereng, teng terereng. Anjing, naganya udah OTW atas. Jatuh lagi gua, monyet lah. Naga. Ya, dia naik anjir. Gagal guys, ulang. Teng tereret. Skema koran. Duar. Anjing nggak nyampe guys.
Sometimes it's hard to choose the right path, but don't be afraid. You can always repeat. We learn from our mistakes. Sometimes it's hard to choose the right path, but don't be afraid.
Ya
You can always
goblok,
repeat.
jatuh
We
anjing.
learn from our mistakes.
Blok. Buat game gabut ya. Kok nggak loncat sih anjir? Lah. Ibu di mana? Bapakku udah ada. Yah. Titik pohonnya di mana ya? Ini kah? Tas. Ya, nggak bisa anjing. Gue pengen belajar itu tuh di situ. Belajar boosting pohon, guys. Iya. Bisa di pohon. Iya kan, kalau pohon ngeboosting kayak yang di ini nih, yang di bawah sini nih, apa yang di bawah gedung. Nah, itu nanti bisa langsung ke apa elevatornya itu. Nggak langsung sih, cuman lebih cepat lah daripada kita muter jalan. Ya. Nih, kayak yang di pohon sini nih, pohon kan mantulin badan si bocil nih ya. Nih. Tueng, tuh mantul kan? Iya lumayan, makanya pengen gue cobain. Cuman gue nggak tahu nih di titiknya yang mana. Tapi harusnya bisa. Goblok. Coba ya. Jadi kayak nanti kita kayak nge-slide gitu nggak sih? Nah, tuh, nge-slide kan? Nah, cuman jatuhnya harus ke trampolin. Ini lewat mana anjing? Bangsat, disuruh muter gua. Pokoknya di sini ada celahan, guys. Kita coba dulu. Ya elah malah jatuh monyet. Oh. Emang ada helikopter? Emang ada helikopter di sini ya? Gue nggak inget. Ah, kok ada heli sih di sini? Ah, nggak inget. Kot. Heli bukannya di atas lagi ya? Cuman satu gitu. Oh, ada heli makanya. Gue merhatiin juga lukan kasur anaknya. Mata jeli bos ya. Terus gue kira ini masih apa? Gue kira udah di fix loh ini bak-baknya. Anjing. Gue pengen coba teori miring nih. Orang-orang ada yang pakai teori miring, kalau gue kan lurus. Weng, anjing kemana itu? Lah kagak nyampe anjing. Kurang guys. Yang baru join udah pada betting ya. Ini map ketiga kita nih. Ah, sudah pick agent guys tuh. Bawa Sage di Lotus. Wow, ini dia nih. Sage naik ke C nih pasti guys. Langsung ke side C ini.
I'm liking the fade swap up.
Pada Viper.
Okay. A little bit more bleed, bringing in the Sage. Certainly a little bit off meta compared to what we see around the world. But yeah, Scars, you can see they definitely look back at what went wrong last time they played this up against Fennel, and they're going for that double controller. Omen, Viper in there, and the KJ as well, just so critical on a map like Lotus, the lockdown, as we said earlier in the first series of the day. Just so, it just provides so much space in such small spots.
Ya, gak nyampe tulang guys. Balon. Balon nyampe nggak balon? Anjing nggak nyampe juga bangsat. Nampaknya ke si Beben.
Honestly, it's mostly we see from Scary a big paranoia, and then he plays off what kind of aggression Juicy can make.
We'll see how that all works out. Now, in terms of the initiators, we get a Sky on either side. We're just rolling with that breach, so we're looking at some rolling thunders. Of course, an ult that takes a few points to work up, but can have incredible impact. And how are we expecting the lockdowns to operate? You know, you've of course got a little bit of damaging util from both sides.
Ya Allah, gua nggak lihat.
Probably don't have to deal with it, so it's just going to have to be either floods or retakes.
Well, the control here can really be wrestled out, I think. When you look at Bleed, they have that Sage, which can, at a moment's notice, stop the execute here at any moment on the Scars' side. And that could really be a big thing. The lockdown, of course, they don't really have the tools necessarily to deal with it, to destroy it, aside from maybe a paint shell. But that's all about it. So, I'm really looking this to be a big clash in ideals and play styles.
Where you have to respect how much space you can make in the first place. You mentioned it. With the lockdown, you can't just actually break that with utility. Someone needs to get in there and someone needs to get in position.
Yeah, someone certainly does. But one of these teams is going up to the top of the group. Let's see who it's going to be.
Only one here can be undefeated. Only one here.
20 detik guys, 20 detik.
Their own rampage
Gue masih bisa ke
in
atas nih.
Pacific Ascension. We're back though with map number 3. Bleed versus Scars. And while the records haven't been kind to Scars on a map like this, Lotus, well, they bring out something very much more different.
Yeah.
They bring out Crystal on something
Anjing lu.
it's that fade. He can get value out of it so many times. He's played in other maps as well. And on the other hand, Bleed Esports, that Sage stuff from Crazy Guy is what I'm looking forward to.
Well, first fight here.
Lah tetep aja 128 anjing pada kemana anjing betting.
Map towards Long and Bleed.
Mulai mati kah betting?
Built together to be the new kings of SEA of the Pacific, a super team to end all teams versus a Scar squad, a ragtag bunch put together to make a statement. Who will come out and prevail?
Ada
Towards
rungkat.
mid, Crazy Guy though.
Popu lagi low berarti ini ya. Low
His
Popu.
own heal, not gonna be enough actually. Only 30 HP you can get back from your own healing orb. It's Crystal now, watching out for anyone on top of the wall itself. Barrier orb though for the blockade, and Scars a chance to flood into B side here.
Well, they're keeping them at bay, doing an ample job of that. That's what we talked about, that Sage could be a big thing where
Lupa baiting, jangan diajak main tuh si Wukong. Tukang bait.
they leave here. Crystal to be playing so they can gain.
Kalau main ngebait tuh berarti
easier,
wow,
but
gila.
Juicy, he's got the sheriff and he finds a quick pick.
He hears it coming and Josie with another one. Paranoia gonna be into play, and this is terrible here for Scars.
Lah. Dua orang kena aftershock, kocak.
Well, Neff with 2 there at the very end. Bleed just hold off Scars.
They all just tucked tail, went to the same corner where the coroner was waiting here. Neff, after shock, certainly sends shocks down their spine. What a shot here from Juicy. Follow up as well. Flawless here for Bleed without much of a fuss.
Bleed Esports, they were just prepared for whatever Scars wanted to navigate towards to. They had the angle already. They were waiting for Scary to throw that Paranoia down. And that's what the beauty of Scary's position is all about. Every single lane that Bleed anticipates you know a Paranoia is coming your way.
You have to anticipate that. The pressure of having Paranoia up and online. You can see teams play a lot more safely, knowing that Paranoia could come at any moment. When it's thrown out, then they know they're a bit more safe from an inescapable ability. Now Swarms keep him at bay. This is shredding them apart, the Spectre spam.
Yeah, Jemkin hurting already. Here comes the aftershock yet again. Toroneko can't get out in time. Bleed, as soon as the smoke dissipates, a chance for them to cross on through. Second though, the Poison Cloud is there as well, holding them off for now. It's still Scars hanging back at the very least. They don't have the best arsenal to work with. It's Bleed already on site. Crystal waiting for the timing to throw out that Prowler. Crazy Guy pushing on forward. Angel's gonna be there as well. And here comes Bleed, getting halfway done with the defuse. Jemkin on the board, sure, but Crazy Guy and Scary are keeping tabs of Scars and their position. 2-0 now for Bleed.
Nicely done for Bleed. Great patience shown
Apakah
here by
Boom
some
bakal
of the
juara?
players on Crazy
Amin.
Guy.
Dah itu
Not
aja
just
jawabannya.
dip into the fight, wait for
Amin.
the smokes to dissipate, wait for the rest of the backup to come on in and aid them in the pursuit for the retake. But now Scars, they've got the weapons, they secure that plant, which should at least help them a bit more on their buy.
And you can see for Scary, he puts out these
Ha?
small
Apa?
corners that he can utilize. A pixel angle with the dark cover especially. From that point on, it's Bleed now on the bonus. They throw out the Paranoia early, trying to anticipate Scars in a quick push. Instead though, it's slower play from Scars. They move towards Mound instead.
You can see here though that they're keeping them on this. They're keeping at least the defense to assume that there might be a lot more presence here than there actually is. So
Kalau bisa kayak kemarin sih,
holding
Derka
down
juga
the
lewat.
line.
Buset.
They could flash him through, but he's ready. Still takes the
Nah
L.
gitu dong.
Juicy
Tadi
with the
kalah lu
takedown
Juicy
and a
sama
big
Odin
chance
ya.
for Bleed immediately. Taking down Allen here. That Toxic Serene's not going to be any kind of effect towards that A site anymore. Instead, Scars re-engage towards
Boom,
that
kapan?
B
Besok?
site where a wall is waiting. They break things down though. They also go
Alhamdulillah.
for the hunt at the very least to get that intel. You have Neff waiting inside the smoke. Toroneko actually teleporting on in, but Neff now crosses on through to get that.
Nanti kita fokus nonton Ascension mah pas playoff ya adik-adik. Group stage mah gak gua tonton semua, tenang aja. Gak gua separtiin, nonton mah kayaknya nonton aja sih gua.
By example here, the takedowns happen in favor of the attack. Crazy Guy can't get the catch whatsoever.
Yeah, what a turnaround of this specific round
Lens
here.
X-Kuret per second mabar, asik. Seru dong tuh.
Bulldog still though. Just changes his
Makan
color
yuk,
of
makan
his
bro.
skin.
Halo Iqbal.
But for the meantime, this should be around 4 Scars.
Buset, bertiga gitu. Oke. Nice bonus ya, hilang semua
They're all
armor.
just watching for
Dua
him,
orang
but
mati.
that was such a swing courtesy of Scars. Every single one of them winning out their more isolated goals, immediate frags in succession there from Scars. And that's the thing of beauty about this team. Suddenly, they can just get these immediate takedowns. And as soon as they get on with the site, they were just like, okay, we got this. Let's just finish up the round.
And as soon as they do so, you can see Scars just know that they've gotten the full confidence they need to run towards that C site, overrun anybody in their way. Just
Vinda
the
alias,
existence of pouring out
makasih
that
udah
lead
join
into
member.
catching Bleed
Welcome
off
back.
guard.
Yeah, Juicy here though towards Rubble and immediately Bleed. Looking to at
Final
least
kapan?
be
Final
above-
apa?
aggressive in terms of map
VCS
control
lah
this
bang,
round.
emang final apa? Ya kan
Round
kita
7
lagi
here
nonton
from Scars.
Pacific
Darion,
Ascension,
though,
final VCS
already
besok.
reinforced by Crazy Guy. They're looking for the timing with the slow orb. They hear the showstopper though.
Pertanyaan yang gue buat sendiri ya.
He's stuck now onto the site, looking to let it rip towards the halls. And Neff just backs on away. A wise disengage here from Bleed.
Yeah, they pull away. Rolling Thunder coming in for the retake on Bleed, and they're now trying to hit the site. They know where Jenkin is. Darion finds his own. Yoshi responds, but the kills is going to Bleed. And they can't
mantap
get
ini.
an overrun.
Good,
3-1.
A retake there from Bleed. They were just in position,
Agustus.
just waiting out the utility, the ultimate.
Bisa
there
berarti
from
lu
Scars.
nobar bung
And
nggak?
as
Tergantung
soon
lu
as
kalau nggak
Scars
nonton
was
gua nobar.
already
Kalau lu
committed onto
nonton
the
gua
site,
nggak.
That's when Bleed struck. Neff though setting things up so very well all throughout this series. He's been a master of utility, and with a rolling thunder there to catch out so many of Scars,
Scary.
it was enough for such an effective wipeout.
Yeah, they're just too stunned, too
Nonton lah, nggak jadi dah.
by the opportunity to recognize that, hey, if you play in sight, you're gonna fall prey to the Rolling Thunder Bleed. And what a day it was. Scars though, eco once more here, like by at the best.
Ikut yang tris dingin enggak.
Bunch of pistols is all
Enggak
they
dingin,
got to work
kremi.
with as they crawl up and make contact on Crazy Guy.
First contact yet again from Crazy Guy. The slow orb now, and they
Wih,
just
dapat
fall
dua.
to his
Big.
hands. 2 down for Crazy Guy.
Ya,
Champion
ketutupan
will
Aftershock
fight
tuh,
back.
yakin buat
Stellar
gua.
here at least to give them a chance. But Yoshi solo already.
Aftershock
Here we go
sendiri,
again,
bah.
Champion with a third.
Yuh,
Scary
sesekeri.
though. It's easy
Ai.
for him. 2 down to his hands.
Mantap.
Darion there with a
Gas
final
terus.
greeting. And it's Bleed now looking to wrap up this
Si
scoreline.
Kod aji.
Damage though done by the attacking like by side of Scars. They got all the kills that they otherwise would have wanted, right? 4 taken on down. Maybe in the end the clutch could have worked out better.
Kok gitu? Iya, soalnya laknya setak, nggak sampai
Still, good
gope,
damage
jadi
done
skip dulu bang.
economically, and they have quite a few ultimates at the horizon here of being online.
Yeah, just the powerhouse that is Jemkin at the
Gila.
very least. But you can still see already the impact of Crazy Guy. As soon as they spot out any kind of intention towards B, it's a slow orb plus the plan B, that barrier orb as well. It's just very effective right now for Bleed Esports. Having the Sage is just catching Scars in a pace that they don't want to play.
Timeout called here by the Scars.
Trix berapaan? Berapa ya? 120?
Reset, I guess, the momentum here because the swing is
Oh,
just been
130 gua
the
lupa.
pendulum heavily towards that
Pede
Bleed
ini, Bleed.
side. And on the attacking side, you want to start gaining these rounds. We saw that become a problem on Fracture, where even on the less favored side, Bleed were building up such an insurmountable lead that by the time that they started to get some momentum in the second half, it was too little too late. The cushion was too big, the deficit too huge, disparity too difficult. And now, Scars at the brink here on map number 3. How do they differ their plan?
Yeah, they're struggling right now to actually make the entries happen. Whether or not they get in there, you know that Bleed is in a prime spot to actually use utility to flush them out.
Yeah.
That's why they want to put Crazy Guy in the front line first. They're willing to burn out those lore orbs just to keep things like Darion's Nanoswarms, just to keep Neff's utility, especially with the fault line, with the Aftershock for later on.
Round 6 commences.
Tutor you, nggak valid. Harusnya ngomong tutor dulu. Kurang lu, Pom.
Condition a bit that defense to have to worry about constantly over. But the thing is, you're not going to be conditioned to worry about that wall if Scars don't actually make something of it. If the Scars start to, maybe get great positioning off of it or start to get some kills due to their lurks here towards A main, and that's when Bleed are going to start to have to worry about that wall even more so. But with noise being made here towards B, at some point, when this alarm bot goes away, you're going to know it's a B-side hit.
Yeah, Prowler searching for targets, but to no avail instead. The smoke is there just to try and scare off Scars. Does Jemkin there at least to try and cross. They go for the Nightfall, but Jemkin caught in a Nano Swarm still. The Nightfall makes the space. Neff has another plan. He's already looking to be on the upper position just to catch out anyone from Scars who pushes forward.
You can tell Neff is trying to be aware of any aggression there. Lockdown placed here towards those pillars. Allen, huge pick. That's the lurk we're talking about. Jemkin gets his first.
Yeah, those are what exactly Scars have been looking for. They find the picks and they get the space.
Sabar nih Crazy guy nih.
Done unless Bleed can make this
Cepping sih nggak mungkin sih nih 3-5.
And now they know
susah banget posisinya, nggak dapat kontrol.
Yeah, Crazy guy chill, brother. That's Darion beside you. No reason to get too spiced up right now. Yeah, the retake not even going to be attempted here by Bleed. Conceded, they've got some rounds to give, especially on the defense. So 4-2 it shall be. Scars cut the lead in half. They have it from the shadows, and we see on the map here like Lotus, a lot of teams love to use that open ult to take either the drop control.
Jadi kalau si Mas nobar VCS, kita nobar di si Mas, oke?
Defenders spawn entrance control there on the C site. So
kalau kayak orang utan sama D+ udah kelihatan juga sih. Ya nggak sih?
Information and space early.
Well, timeout now being called.
Kurs gitu.
It's for Bleed Esports. And the biggest problem we've seen from this defense for Bleed, when they get immediately picked apart, when then suddenly the frags go in favor of Scars out of nowhere, it just completely dismantles the Bleed defense. We saw it when they went for that sudden triple threat moving towards that C side. We saw it right now in the last round, and those immediate swings from Scars are what have brought them to this level of success already.
Well, the Scars here, what's been working too is when they're able to, I guess, circumvent what Bleed expect. You can tell their Bleed, they kind of thought it might be a fake, and if it does end up becoming the B site, we can retake it effectively anyways. But just the off positioning by players like Allen, players especially like Jemkin there on that second pick, that's what really catches, I guess, Bleed off guard when there's sudden changes of pace that Scars have just not telegraphed to Bleed.
Yeah, Scars in an instant, in a dime, it's suddenly faster kills and faster entry. Now, can Scars actually bridge that gap and look to try and at least make it at least one round? I'm watching for Scary though. He's the one looking towards that mound. Throws out the smoke towards lobby actually. And Bleed, they have a feeling already the Scars wants to hit for A. There's the wall also. And look at the door, they're ready for a pinch on the mound if ever.
Yeah, but they have a wrong read on the situation here, especially with Yoshi trying to make some noise towards his B. It's going to leave that A side even more ripe for the taking. The only defender there is Darion, so he's got a lot to do, especially with the late information that will be gathered.
Yeah, Bleed is trying to reel Scars in towards
Kenapa si Crazy guy nge-slow ya? Takut rame kali ya?
In a different position. They move now from rubble towards the site. All eyes instead on Darion and his setup. Waiting though for the door to make some noise immediately. Just with that cue, Bleed.
Tolong, aku di entot guys.
Hit here from the shadows to reposition and try and aid his teammate. Darion dodging that, not giving away information of his presence.
Di smoke sa Scary ini bagus, smoke-nya bagus banget ini.
To commit in the first place. Quick reinforcement from Scary. Prowler though doesn't
gak ketahuan.
A chance here with a bit of false intel. Toroneko though looking for the plant.
Ayo Der, kamu lama sekali Der. Teman-teman kamu yang masuk udah pada mati Der. Wah.
It's so hard to find the angle for the raid. Also just into the corner, no real escape. Does he get pushed by Scars here? Crystal though, a chance, but Darion with spray to get that.
Peluru abis deh, 25 doang.
And Jemkin with a spot.
Ya.
This should be a save here for Juicy as
Kurang berani ternyata Darionnya guys.
It has to be almost assuredly, and that it is. Scars finally stringing around another round in a row here. That's 2 now. And Bleed just, they have good ideas in how they play their defensive setup. Just, they haven't been getting the right read on where the hit will come. And they also haven't been gaining information to find that out because they lack information gathering actively. The only way they can gather information is the old-fashioned way.
Sorry Ben,
check it, peek it, jump.
Nggak salah ketik.
Passively, yes, but They have no Sova, no Sky, no Fade, nothing to find out what Scars are up to.
It's only the breach, right? And yes, it's strong for being
Coba masuk si
aggressive,
Rian tuh
but
dapat
how do you
anjing.
even know where Scars is gonna go when they cut that kind of noise? Some great discipline also from Scars.
Kan dia udah nggak ketahuan Prowler, nggak ketahuan scan ya.
Their Killjoy, they put Yoshi
Aneh.
there to at least make some noise, catch up a bit of attention. And from that point on, it was just a clear escapade onto the A side. Blades though out, Juicy. He wants to find at least a bit of blood here.
Well, Juicy, he's been having himself not the most ecstatic game here, nor performance in this series. Map number 1, certainly different, but the second, especially coming to the third, wasn't anything to write home about just yet. Bleed on the defensive side. Operator here on Darion, back in his hands. Let's see how Scars deal with it.
Yeah, Doc screen setup is there at the very
Ah,
least.
nggak dapet.
So Scars, they can separate the site, especially toward the top side. Showstopper,
Nice.
Champion trips up over
Tapi
the
di trap.
box. Crazy guy with the
Santai
takedown
nap.
left.
Gas
Waiting
nap,
for the
gas.
timing. Hearing
Yeah.
the cross already. Just looking for a chance, an opportunity here. Toro Neko though with the plant, and here comes the Seas onto Darion as
Lah,
well.
kocak
Still,
si
though,
Allen.
Darion has no fear. Nice shot for Crystal. We'll just catch him in the corner anyway. An overrun here, courtesy
Nep.
of Scars. Nep
Nah,
goes a different
stun
chance
lu,
and a
black
different
black
place.
side, black
Line
side.
down, moving
Anjay,
towards
black
Toro
side.
Neko. He's watching towards top, but it's Juicy already reinforcing that.
Gas black side.
Blades
Oke,
get
mantap.
that takedown all left to Crystal in a 1v2. Trying to play 3. Looks for the Prowler also, but Juicy already shutting things down.
Punya pisau.
They want to go for the defuse.
Oke. OP, backset, backset.
It's now Bleed, at least
OP,
getting it
Bang.
back.
Well, a retake here coming in from Bleed. And especially they're coming from Naf. where he
Mentok
gets
tuh Satchel
that
kan
pick
ketembak
off the
duluan,
trade
jadi kayak gitu, ke
towards
cancel.
Yoshi, who's playing on that broken door, swings around, stunned for the backside. You can see Toroneko is just trying to be aware or anticipate a push from that heaven position. And Darion also getting a kill here before going down with that operator. Big round
Oh, klik
here for
kanan
Bleed
dia.
to swing momentum
Gua kira
back
ke
their
kiri.
way. Juicy, I talked about him not really getting activated and seems to have hurt.
Yeah, he's just
Dingin.
getting ready now. 7-2 standing especially. He's always been a survivor here for Bleed. Now Scars, they want to go for
Yeah!
This time around the timing works
Pick
out for
dua.
them. They catch Crazy Guy in the act. A big pick now to move on forward. Nefto.
Iya, berdua lagi, mantap.
Be careful versus Scars if you are Bleed because the pick potential is
Roto
unbelievable.
Gaming.
Immediately the takedowns go in the favor of the Japanese
Yeah,
squad.
double peaks, a double for Allen, who's just playing off of the confusion that Bleed are in after those first
Pusing nih
kills.
Bleed nih.
When their attention is drawn away, trying to wonder what happened to my teammates. And they should
Wow.
be the same.
What a find and what a catch here for Scars. A
Yep.
flawless way to win. And yet again, when suddenly in the silence Scars gets those kind of picks, it's Bleed who just falls apart.
They just, as I talked about, the pace modulation this team has, where they suddenly shift into another gear. It's not from first gear to second to third and then on so forth incrementally. But if anything, it's more like from first gear directly into the fifth, then straight into the sixth. That's the way that these guys play. You just don't expect the momentum shift that these guys can throw around like a rag doll. And now they have the lockdown, though, Bleed, for this round.
I mean, Bleed is trying to do the best they can to stop that momentum. We haven't really seen Scars rack up the rounds that we did versus Bonkers versus Orangutan. And this time now,
Orangutan
one round gap.
versus orangutan.
Bleed also on an eco state. Difficult hold here for the defense. Scary's the one watching out for B side instead. And a different endeavor here.
Hee.
For Crazy Guy and the rest. The alarm bot though with a spot and Scars knows it's coming.
Yeah,
Di
they
wall anjing.
recognize, hey, this might be quite a lot coming our way. Barrier destroyed immediately, at least confirms that there's quite a few Scars players, and now the defense can adjust accordingly. You can see our Bleed are anticipating that B site transition potentially. They take that B link and Scars, where do they commit?
Yeah, Bleed's backing off towards the site. They do want to find at least a cheeky kill or two, especially if they can catch anyone overextending. The screen, though, is set up yet again. It's been getting so much value to allow these crosses to happen. And not only that, implied presence. Scars rotating towards B here. The lockdown, though, into play. Darion's lockdown broken on down by Scars this time around. And with the plant going, Allen's dead, lurking towards the opposition. Finds Juicy already. A nice backstab possibility here for Scars, and look at who falls to his hand. Allen with another one. Crazy guy in Darion trying to at least go for the hold, but the rotation looking sublime here for Scars.
1v4. Okay, crazy guy, nice pick. Does have the res, but
Dua-dua per 0. Dua-dua per 0.
Specifically, save it for a better opportunity, and Crystal ties up the game for Scars. Round 10 it is. Coming to the 11th, they've got the Nightfall now on their attacking side, rolling Thunder for Neff. And I talked about that res a while ago. Thing is, though, with Bleed pushing so far up forward on some of these defensive rounds, will they even be in a position to use that res later on?
Yeah, we haven't actually seen that kind of value, right? You expect that at the very least, Bleed can go for that initial trade for the aggressive play, and then they just get the advantage through the resurrection. It's a struggle here for Bleed to maximize what they have. And Scars have found answer after answer in the past few rounds. I've also noticed he's on that raise, so he's very good at contesting the quarters, catch out things like the lockdown, and force Bleed to back off for the time being.
Crystal dropping there, the operator swaps back out to the rifle, potentially for the hard hit. He's got the Nightfall, as we talked about, and this could really dismantle, but Bleed have a plan. Luckily, they have that Rolling Thunder as a response, and because Neff is playing in a position that he can help both the B and A site, then that should be available for this next fight.
Yeah, Yoshi here though, looking to at least lead a bit of that charge. Scars in the meantime, one at the very least, get that lockdown going. Now that they have it, they break the door. They're trying to condition Bleed. That B site is still a possibility.
Something
to
Sengoku.
All the way to spawn. Looking very likely instead.
And look,
Sengoku sama Scars beda kan?
That's going to even confirm and sell to Bleed that it could be a B possibly. You see them coming here towards
SG,
the
look
now.
at SG something.
That should pivot the defense, and now they can come towards B. Viper's pit down.
What?
Rolling
we want
Thunder?
to see from Scars. It's so slick from them. But Neff, that's a huge kill on the Jemkin now. The lockdown's there too to provide the space for Scars to work with.
Anjing ini ultinya bangsat banget.
Have the advantage. The pit is there, the plant is down, and it's looking to be Scars likely with control.
Yeah, I love the lurk here coming from Allen. Buying them the space that they needed, buying them the rotation right in the perfect time for that transition. And Bleed, I think they can seed around.
That's brilliant again from Scars. Time after time, they're maximizing their rotations. They're utilizing as much as they can of the map to pull Bleed as far back as possible. And you think that was going to be a C hit. They went for that immediate Nightfall, but from that point on, since Allen was one in position, he was on the lurk, a single Viper Spit kept them controlled. Whoa, what a round, honestly, from Scars. Yeah. They've been doing this for so long already. That doorway being broken to allow them into B has opened up so many avenues for this offense.
Shampoo to clean.
Last round before the
conditioner, just to make sure they have the right idea of what to do.
You want to so far too?
Yeah. Okay, maybe a bubble bath.
Okay, sure.
That'd be nice afterwards. Look at Scary. He's just moonwalking his way there. Not even anticipating the lurk there from Allen, who just has been buying so much time, and the way that they've been conditioning this defense to have to consider the pivot over and over.
Look at what they have now. 2 Odins, 2 operators. Who needs rifles when you can just let it rip? No chance for Bleed to play any kind of aggressive towards the lobby. But Allen, he has to be careful, or he's spammed down by Juicy. At the very least, it's Bleed. Here's quite something scary on the other side.
I mean, Scars have so much economy. They can do that anyways. They can force up the buy of whatever weapon they want just to maybe try something cheeky early on. If they even got 5 ops and held all the angles, I wouldn't have blamed them.
Yeah, they do ping though towards rubble. They want to clear it out as soon as possible just in case Bleed was able to cross. Just that extra bit of security. We've seen this pivot point from Scars rather so many times as they transfer from A to B. Making noise now as they clear out the boxes. Doorway again, and it's really Scars keeping Bleed guessing.
Engpong, ya beli makan guys, lapar.
And the thing is, because
buat nanti habis streaming.
so little insistence of controlling that mound rather that rubble. It makes it so
Belum
easy
makan,
now
aing
for
belum
Stars to
makan
pivot
ya.
and transition into a B hit like this.
Yeah, paint shells lobbed, and this forces Bleed to move towards Waterfall instead. Here comes the fault line, aftershocks there too.
Apakah benar? Kata aku 6 sama, guys.
Again, we've seen it from Neff. Anyone who catches with a stun, he will just get blown to bits by his utility as well. 5v3 right now. Bleed trying to play from the upper yet again.
Enggak, ada yang dua lose.
To allow Juicy in. Cloudburst for cover, but they're coming in from the link. Yoshi with the spray.
Enak. Ayo, Jus. One more. 6 sama ya, confirm DBangkong. Tema makanan malam ini apa? Nasi gulai cincang. Ya. Berapaan bang? 12.000. Nasinya ada di rumah.
Pivot and go towards that B side and go and transition on the attacking side because of how much map control, I guess, Bleed have been giving up on here. Luckily for them, though, they have that presence of mind to keep Allen's lurk in check in the back of their heads. The punish here coming from
Lu udah makan, Malmer?
But we haven't seen that Sage value the same way.
Well, we're going to be going into halftime here. Everything is tied up. And from what we've seen so far, Scars yet again defying those expectations. Not only have they beaten
saatnya kita mencoba.
Bleed Esports on Pearl, the first time Bleed has
Coba teori miring nih masih gagal.
But also a map that they haven't been accustomed to, a map that
teori
we haven't
miring.
really seen from them on the VCT circuit in Lotus. It seems like they're so well prepared. So many times we've seen them clear out these kind of sites. They get in there, find the angles to isolate and just the one-on-one gameplay that we've seen
sapi apa
from
kambing?
Stars
Sapi.
is back to that mentality. Individuals come together, coalescing as one.
Sapi kali, nggak tahu yang di warteg apaan sapi kan?
You have to assume that
Warteg bro.
maybe Scrimbucks told them that this composition is what could work. They've been doing good on it so far on the attacking side, at least. That's all we can kind of infer right now. It's not great. It has been pretty good. It's been Jamkin that
Kuda anjing, kuda. Entot apalagi tuh muka gue, woi.
15 kills on him, 8 on an assist, but that doesn't matter. As we're going to the final half of this series, one is absolutely impressed.
We've seen that he can just force out the issue and allow Scars through. But now moving on to the attacking side, this is where Bleed is a lot more comfortable in. If you look at the NYSG stats, around 72%
bajunya sama, beda.
round wins.
Kan gue baju hitam banyak, motifnya doang beda. Gue pengen beli baju polos Tara. Jadi tiap hari ntar baju gue hitam. Kayak nggak ganti baju ya nggak? Kalau belinya selusin.
Barrier orb though to blockade the staircase, and you can see why Bleed wants to run that stage. Allows the cross now towards the site.
Yoshi's in the backside. He has to get a pick here. They do go 1-for-1. They trade out immediately. Darion on the swing from the backhand.
What?
Di TikTok shop murah-murah, ya. Nyari yang jumbo lu yang jumbo.
4v3 for now. Crystal committed here towards drop. No Scary has his mark. At least the Haunt now to try and get the intel on the back of side. Allows the rest of Scars to actually push on through. And it's Bleed here waiting. Neff though trying to be ready. He's not so for Jemkin. 2 down courtesy of Jemkin. Darion backing on the way thanks to the paint shells. And this is Scars imposing back onto the side. Jemkin will just jive and find those takedowns. What momentum swing we've seen from Scars here.
And they're halfway towards a showstopper already here for Jemkin.
Kayak event.
What a start.
Masuk kayak event.
What a flurry of a finish there for the
yang lebih diunggulkan siapa? Yang lebih diunggulkan sih kudunya sih Scars ya. Jepang nih. Yang lebih diunggulkan.
Off the weak side swing, but that's more than enough value. That's more than enough time burns.
Middle finger e-sport lah. Kan orangnya udah nggak ada bang.
To get the job done.
Yeah, he's just above and beyond everyone else right now.
Selamat sukses, mahal nggak ada ukurannya juga.
Racking up those kills, and this is what we've been talking about all throughout this series. Jemkin is just that MVP here for Scars. He's just been incredible ever since he has stepped foot.
Udah lama.
And as of right now, the proof is there on the statistics. One of the highest ACSs in this tournament so far. One of the biggest reasons Scars is in this position.
Well,
size apa biasanya? 3XL, 4XL? Kadang-kadang double XL juga ada yang muat kalau ukuran luar. Gue di VT double XL muat. Crazy Guy meninggal.
no chance for Bleed to even ascend that staircase, and Darion at least fighting
kenapa sih
back.
Crystal?
But it's 2v4 and
Woi.
Darion, he'll get 2 of his own. Thora Neko
Wah.
racking up the kills.
Berdua.
But in the end, Scars already
Lene
from the
kan, iya,
start
Lene.
of the side take, they were prepared.
Unoko beliin dah, Dre. Udah berapa banyak tuh baju Unoko. Game Rusia ya. Kalau gue beli baju hitam polos terus gue desain sendiri gambarnya sablon di rumah. Oh, lebih enak itu Maya. Ada yang nganga tapi bukan Pradipta.
And this is such a big moment for Scars now. They're on
Mahal
their
anjing
bonus.
tuh ya mahal lah buat orang-orang gendut mah gak ada yang murah.
They are going to be going into the playoffs. They still have to play for seeding, that's for sure. But once they get those 3 wins, then they're in the best spot ever to move on to the next stage.
Bang ya lu cek ya bang.
Undefeated so far.
Exactly. This is a big chance here for Scars. Can they make it work though? You do have Crystal though, holding on to the side by his lonesome. The Prowler's there, but the Flood looking strong from Bleed. Good for him, a quick disengage towards top. The Aftershock's there too. He's gonna wait things out, so the timing might work here for Scars. Crystal dropping on down. Crazy guy with a wall though.
They do wrestle that control of the front and mid site, so Hut is theirs for the meantime. It's a backside that they're more than willing to give away. Retake here from Scars. How does it work? They have that paranoia, but do they act upon it immediately enough? Do they have the time?
Lah kocak!
Yeah, Scars making this close and Bleed.
Untung
It's all up to Allen immediately.
Untung itu beton orang
Sets up the wall. There is just no way for Scars to cross safely.
They just
dapat bonus sih gue nggak ngerti lagi.
That's where they can expect Scars to come because Scars don't break it either. They don't want that
Magic
long
lab apa guys?
versus tree. They create effectively a weak side on the entire site. It makes it much more difficult to Scars because they have to funnel through it. Just makes things a lot easier.
Si Mas udah live tuh, gue dapet notif nih guys.
To manage the numbers.
What's live now, Nugi Darmawan?
As they were filtered in. Scars though still have a round up. They got the
Abis ini kita nobar VCS di Simas ya. Kayaknya dia nobar VCS deh.
Yeah, Bleed has to be wary about those kind of walls actually. Since the
udah live Simas kan?
blast packs are available, Gem can surprise anyone who is clustered on in.
Mas pet apa yang bagus under 500? Under 500 kayak pulsar dah. Pulsar kalau enggak Kiceka Kill Series.
Yeah, paranoia though. This is the mark. It does still keep Scars at bay. Juicy now in position. There's the wall as well from Crazy Guy, and he's on top of it to keep tabs on Waterfall. But Scars, a different
ulti.
the showstopper
Lah,
we've been talking
kok
about.
dia kaki ke kanan, tolong.
Anyway, Yoshi on board, and here
Orang mah ke planter dulu ya ultinya ya.
from Scars at the very least.
Juicy, what the fuck? Anjing, untung gak mati lu.
Still get it done anyway. In the scrap fest they stand.
Big round there from Juicy. I'm surprised he stayed
Kocak,
alive
anjing.
for that long. They still had the paint shell. It didn't come in through. I guess they thought that, especially your Jemkin, when he went up above,
Aduh,
thought that the breach falling back in this case.
meler lagi nih.
The planter didn't anticipate the tight corner to be where he actually was. Now, because of that bleed, they've tied the game up.
He got way too close though for comfort for Bleed. But at the very least, they were in position to fight any kind of angle that Scars was coming from. That's the beauty again of Crazy Guy setting that kind of pace. And as soon as that wall broke, it was already a telltale sign for Bleed that Scars was coming.
Look at the score line here, though.
Every time
By
they
Scars in terms of
come
where their kills are placed.
Ih, ngeri banget tuh megang wall depan di situ dah.
9 for the next player already, so you can see he's taking a
Awas
big
trinya
brunt
bang,
of the
tri
effort
bang.
to getting those frags, getting those kills.
Heaven sama tri bang, dicek bang. Trinya belum dicek juga bang. Os, untung aja.
And well, he will be dimmed by Bleed in a very convincing round.
Di Scarsi yang baru main si Jamesky doang nih, Jamesky. No, 20 kill sendiri.
Does suit them
James
still. You
Kui.
have Juicy in the front line. You have Crazy Guy giving them a
Cosplay
red
Magic.
light just to stop wherever they want
Main
to.
FIFA pakai gamepad apa? Ada F710 sama PS4.
Nice response here from Bleed on the attacking side. The defense just
Oh, satu lagi ada ini.
for this amount of
Nintendo Switch Pro Controller.
being pulled up. But the next round, that's a big one. We know in these cases, round 18, when it's this close, only a round separating each other, that this is where you see a lot of the big momentum swings come into the fold.
Yeah, timeout here called by Scars. And you can feel already that they were in control, and suddenly Bleed just shifted that momentum back in their favor. They want to rely on that kind of contact. They want to rely on enabling Jemkin. But he can't just do it all by his lonesome. Someone else needs to step up to the plate to help him.
Ben, apa?
Especially when Bleed is just willing to play as close as possible.
Exactly, it can't just
Bentar,
be a
mumpung lagi
one-man
timeout, kita
show.
tanya dulu ke si Mas.
These Scars are not going to beat these guys
Nobar gak, Mas?
with that individuality.
Mana
They've
deh?
been
Oh,
keeping
ini.
it
High
close,
friend.
but they could have so much more. How do they
Mas,
enable
Nobar
the rest
VCS.
to frag up? They have to follow up and be a bit closer to hold where
Nanti
Jemkin
aja dah
is
kalau udah
taking.
ini bikin vlog.
They have to be
Nomor
following.
VCS, ayo Ben sini ke bawah aja bro. Buat tadi ada
Oke.
yang berbantu lupa di link videonya ya.
Allow
Ntar
Scars
nyusul.
a path to more success. In the end, though,
Oh,
Bleed
dia nobar VCS, guys.
everything that they need now. 4 ultimates, 1 kill away for Scary. Such a full arsenal as well. And they're in a prime position to continue with
Wah,
their
Desya menjadi
momentum moving
abu.
forward.
Banyak
They wanna
tontonan,
go for
iya.
that A site, though. The
Nanti lo
flash
orang gue
is
pindahin ke
on
channel
and
Nugi ya,
Juicy
biar
immediately
pupunya
swings.
high.
Stars, though, respects that and will back away for the time being.
Recognizes here.
Nobar VCSOI besok gua final, gua record juga ya guys ya. Takutnya kan sampai 5 map tuh. Banyak konten ya kan. Mantap. Ngedit mah tipis-tipis aja ya, potong-potong ya kan. Kalau nggak kasih efek meledak kayak kalau duar.
When they get at least to avoid it.
Yeah, and they've already crossed through the toxic screen and Bleed. They've shown their
Bikin
willingness
sampai 5
to
map
fight
lah.
as close as possible.
Masa settingan bang?
Regarding now the setup
Kalau
of
kita
the
kalah
Viper
di 2 map pertama gimana
onto
jing?
the site itself. And they actually go for B here.
Keren banget kalau 3-0, buset lawannya susah bang, SOD bang. I'm star itu.
Lockdown versus lockdown now.
A counter lockdown. This timing is even better for the attackers because that burns
Masih
time off
freestyle.
of the defense's retake.
Enggak ada.
They have to waste a few more
Gue kayak
seconds
final pakai
before
crosshair
actually
dah.
getting to it because they won't be able to take it in
Tapi
time.
crosshair Flappy Bird.
Let's break counter ultimates there.
Yeah, it's so hard for Scars to break that with the paint shells. Instead, when they get the rolling thunder, Yoshi caught out immediately. Allen though with a snake bite towards door, and it's Bleed here, still prepared. Juicy gets that kill. Scary spotted on out though. Juicy again with another one, and here comes the spray down from Allen too. At the very least, Scars going for the clear, but Darion wants to be crucial in the round. The Odin though still.
Oke,
leaving
9
a
sama,
mark,
Jing.
and it's
Gimana,
Scars
Jing?
With a stellar retake to boot.
Wow, what a performance from Scars.
Maka konten
Even with
baru
the
yang
rolling
Lufek TV,
thunder,
si Atil tertepu,
Scars
anjing.
able to weather the storm, hold on till the waves.
Gue
seem to
kepikiran
cool
aja tuh.
and calm down.
Oh, lawannya 3-1.
They get
Gue
the
fake
round
aja.
two. Big play here coming in from Allen.
Lihat komen
From that
di konten
door,
map 2. Kenapa tuh?
applying
Ntar ya.
pressure, making sure that B main hold had to get
Oh,
aggressive.
yang Fnatic
When they
bukan?
did,
Yang lu
that's
komen
when
Fnatic bukan? Itu kan gue balas ya.
Yeah, Allen has just been waiting for the right timing, and it took.
Gue baru
a bit of
bangun tuh
attention
balas-balas
there
komen.
towards the site itself. He waited.
Iya,
for that
yang kena
signal
fake
from the
TV-nya
Baron.
Atil lagi.
Went
Dikatain
for
sama
it
Nugi.
himself. It's just another angle, another opportunity here. Scars is not afraid to
Kemarin
fight
po
these
freestyle
fights.
man di YouTube Pizza. Oh, gue udah lihat. Itu kalau gue harusnya gue record ya, gue record dulu, gue masukin tuh POV.
That's when Scars have been able to break the mold.
Tapi
That's
gue
when
nggak
Scars
seniat
have been
itu
able
sih.
to break through here on the defensive side.
Gue udah
A-side
lihat,
looking
Mer.
to be
Kan
executed upon
lu yang
side
belum lihat
lead.
balasan gue
You
berarti
see
Jing.
Scars. They do not want to anchor down. They know that breach could be the end of them.
Yeah, this is so competitive from Scars though, and Bleed. They have a few questions now to answer. Can they go for the
Kayak malam-malam gue pengen ini ada push rank. Ntar kalau malam-malam gue niat streaming mah gue streaming guys lah.
Yes. The first takedown to begin the round.
Streaming
Jemkin
midnight,
already
anjing.
disengaging. It's a difficult proposition here for Scars to go for this retake.
Jemkin, he's going to try and find that space early. Big pick from Jemkin here. Juicy doesn't get the timing.
Ish,
Yoshi knows
anjing,
where he
Blitz.
is.
What the
They
fuck?
know Scary is
Scary!
gonna fail here. The timing worked in his favor. 4v2.
Anjing, Scary jauh banget.
Gone too.
Jauh banget
Scary
itu, hey!
so far on the way. Can he get in position to prevent this defuse from happening? Now he's spotted here by Scars.
Raja terakhir sih, raja terakhir Scary.
Scary gets a third, but the halfway marker
Aduh,
created
satu
crafted by
lagi,
Yoshi
Cok.
already is enough for Scars to still win it.
So close. He had to deny the defuse. It was his last option. But that meant that Allen would have a free trade off of him. Scars. The way they're able to come back in
Niatin lah ya
these
gimana
rounds.
nanti.
Incredible stuff. Yoshi as well there, making sure to keep Juicy in check on the hut. He did all he could.
Aduh.
But that was too little too late.
How is Allen getting so many frags with his Odin? And Yoshi also stepping up immensely in that round. You can feel a bit of that hesitation from Scars, but as soon as we got
Karena kalau WP lihat Famous menggila, gue nonton kok. Tapi kan ya gimana lagi turnamen guanya. Gue juga pengen nonton bang. Ternyata jam 7 malam kalau misalnya apa namanya matchnya jam 9 itu kan bisa tuh kita nonton.
Venting it again from Scars. Engaging early. In the meantime, Bleed there. Towards Scars and Jemkin is the first.
Cheat on.
Has been pinned down and taken down at the same time. 5v3. Difficulty here for Scars to play from that air, but Yoshi again. He's ready. He's fighting.
Anjing si Yoshi anjing.
And the blaze of Juicy.
Mantap Juicy ini.
One more chance and one more.
Juicy 1000.
And look who's flying in. He's there. And it's quite a nightmare.
Kemarin turunnya BO1, BO3. Bang. Ya bang ya. Nih gue udah capek nih. Ngupload dari tadi pagi nih. Kagak ditonton nih. Konyol.
So incredible at making opportunities.
Kagak ditonton konten.
The fact though, still set by the crazy ice low orbs, it keeps Scars in a more passive position rather than them wanting to actually get into that fight.
Langsung nonton yang hashtag 2.
When someone like Juicy can be explosive, it gives them the chance to get these punish kills early on.
Berarti memang nggak boleh sehari upload 2 ya. Noted guys.
Negatives of that. Now they're forced into an eco.
Noted. Berarti gua uploadnya sehari 1 aja.
Is that even something you'd want to pull out here? You want to find a pick first. You want to secure possibly the round or gain an advantage before you throw out any of these ultimates.
Yeah, the resurrection available for Bleed as well. We'll see if that can be a factor in this initial side take. They go for the paranoia though, expecting that Scars is playing close. We haven't seen too many
sekali ntar basi.
this game alone, but in the end, it's Bleed now moving towards that A side. They go for the wall though, and as soon as the pit does constitute itself, they back on the way towards B. They ran as you mentioned. Here comes Crystal and Toranaco, and some unexpected firepower.
Anjing, mati di situ semua.
Incredible triple. 2v5 right now.
2 lawan 5 echoednya guys ya. Iya, ilah kena ulti Reja. Iya. Kena Thrifty di 11. Aduh bahaya ini. Udah mah miskin. Pas seru sampai map 3 ya dari tadi bang.
Scars making a lasting impact towards Bleed.
I cannot believe
2 beton ini.
Scars refuse to go down without a fight. And even in these
kalau mau langsung 2 buat early access member, boleh.
So fantastic the way they're able to bring it back. Opener here. Look at this.
Biar early access juga pasti malam-malam aja. Sobat begadang. Ya turni kapan? Barusan gua udah ngomong besok.
Bleed. They have a bit of money to work with, a few rifles now in hand. But suddenly, again, it's such a close game, such a shift of this momentum for Scars instead.
Match point here at the cusp for Scars after this round. But you have to believe that Bleed have got something in the tank. The way they've been playing, the story of what they've proposed, what is expected of them. They cannot go down here without putting up another fight.
This is Bleed looking at least for that opportunity. Yet again, their A takes have been relatively telegraphed. They want to go for that wall towards staircase. They do put more pressure towards door this time around. And a good stun, but Crystal.
Anjing si Crystal, anjing lu Crystal.
He's found rather
Ketahuan
by
tapi.
the turret himself. Bleed though now onto that B side. 3 of Scars swarm onto the side here.
Yeah, the plant is going to go down. Allen good for the one, trade it out immediately. You can see him trying
jangan konyol please.
It finally comes. Rolling thunder thrown here by the defense.
By the attack. What a fine indeed.
Salah.
At least there's
salah.
potential here from Bleed. But
Satu.
And Darion gets Crystal first and foremost.
Oke. Aman aja, aman. Angka promo adik-adik.
He's done heroics before, but crazy guy, he wants to do this time around.
Gak mungkin kalah sih ini. Scary bro.
Angles to work with. makes
galau anjing, Scary si pede banget, gila anjing buka pintu.
Juicy also with
Anjing.
and Juicy gets the job done.
11-11.
Sabar Ben menghadapi kami kaum abu. Oh, anjing, mantap Aldo. Pede loh si Scary buka pintu tapi kagak masuk ya. Kalau di stick mati itu. 12 itu kalau di stick.
On either side, and you can see here that for a team like Bleed, they recognize that
OT lagi, OT.
is what will kill them. They suddenly pivot into that B link because they know that they've been establishing A main control early, and it sets Scars to think there's going to be an A hit.
What do we get here from APAC? Expecting the unexpected. It's up to them to just push the envelope and change their own fate. Can Bleed though get this match point going? Or will Scars hold it down? It's Allen yet again with the Odin. Same kind of gun for Crystal too. So there's so much potential suppression here from Scars. The lockdown as well into play. Counter lockdown now from Bleed as well.
Yeah, they buy even more time here. Burn at least for Scars' favor. They got the Odin, so Crystal making sure you get the spam on that.
Lari kah?
Bleed packing going the other way. Did the defense adjust in time?
Yeah,
oh, dia buka pintu terus lari ke anjing, gila juga nih skemanya.
That barrier orb falls immediately. They rush on over.
Oke, bareng 5 ras langsung set. Semua kayak kan.
Hearing them first and foremost alongside Toroneko. And as Bleed now look for that A set.
Hyper telat ke wall.
Okay. Try to rotate and follow.
But they burned a lot of utility to get within that C mound a while ago. Now through rubble into the A site. Another A site hit to come on in here.
Oh, timing.
Trying to chime on
Aduh, timing banget ini. Aduh. Juicy. Lucy.
Crazy guy trying to get back into position, but Crystal finds Juicy. It's Scary though, still on side.
Scary.
Crystal's Odin though brings in the damage. Here comes Crazy
guy.
Well.
Miskin. Masih bisa beli sih 3 orang.
Take the opportunity, and here they are on series points.
A last-minute push, rotating around from
C
to
Juicy
the
mirip
opposite
gua, Ben.
side of the map. A side finally working out here for Bleed once
Masa
more.
mirip, Jing?
You can see them here. That Scars on this retake just not as cohesive in when they peak this angle. It had to be at the same time when they address that A main position by Scary, but due to him being able to isolate them, they get isolated, taken down.
Yeah, and there's the coordination that we expect from Bleed Esports. The way that they're able to recover in utter chaos. And now, it's either we go into overtime or we go for that Bleed victory. They know that there's a possibility for them to keep their record perfect. But Bleed's the one step away from this victory.
Bleed. Can they close it out here? Round 24. When it matters the most. Winning here for Scars assure their place into the playoffs. Definitely. But they have to do it here right now to bring it into overtime. From the shadows available for Scary. How do they utilize that? Crystal, you can see him posting himself there. Judge in hand. Jury's still out on how effective that will be.
Yeah, Jemkin's in position and he knows the wall is coming. There we go with the paint shells being primed, but it's immediately Bleed looking to try and fake their way towards that B.
Itu ya Allah. Waduh, sial banget Juicy kena smoke.
Juicy.
Palanya tuh.
Scars with the advantage.
Iya. OT.
Scars able to take the fight to Bleed early on, and you can see how successful that can be. Overtime is accomplished.
What a way, Scars too. Flawless
Jing, OT bro.
Smoke actually there by Scary. Kind of
29 tuh lihat tuh cosplay S Magic.
Difficult for Juicy. He accidentally one-wayed his own teammate.
Komen gue dibaca, join member gue.
And we go into another overtime. One for the ages here at the Ascension for Pacific.
An incredible
series
we've had, especially starting into the second map. But look at the answer here from Scars. No fear has been their motto. Willing to fight against Bleed as soon as possible. It's been their mantra ever since we've seen them start. They don't even wait for that spike to plant.
Itu yang kalau yang ini biasanya emang udah niat.
As it should be when they're going for the plant.
Emang udah niat tapi banyak skemanya tuh lihat.
Less people available, less players.
Sene, terima kasih udah join member, welcome tuh. Itu guys, Lucky, omongan dipegang ya kalau di kokop.
29 kills, dude.
29. He's about to drop a 30 bomb.
He's getting that 30, bro. And Juicy.
Juicy lah.
Is the pressure getting to bleed
Real
esports.
cuy,
They put in
anjing.
such
Welcomein dulu dong.
a difficult predicament they haven't seen the likes of months already. Scars, on the other hand, they are looking to go for that C site where it's Darion awaiting them.
Scars now know that the operator is out here for bleed. The glass cannon is what they've opted for.
Darion aja lah yang megang OP-nya asli anjing nggak lebih jago ya Darion.
You'd wager that now on these site executes, they'd commit a lot more utility for it and save.
Oh ini Yosi pengen jadi las ini pakai Sakura Pandal.
They don't want to give up a free opening dry peek.
Yeah, the timing on the smoke though. With Yoshi getting back in cover. Instead, we have Scars looking to hit that B site. Here we go again. Scary. Re-smoking. Repositioning as well. Nef's there too. Toroneko. Let me hit by bit. By their own snake bite. We've seen this from Scars though to try and cover the cross, but Nef is just
Ih, madep.
dismantling the opposition.
Aman lah ini dapat ini.
Get even started.
Wah, sisa carry bro.
Bleed
Depan-depanan,
manner
anti kalah.
to get the advantage now.
Lah AP hilang kodoknya. Hah, AP siapa? Kue AP? Oh, pantesan dari tadi nggak komen ya. Jetnya Josh Juicy atau Darion? Kalau gua sih masih Darion sih ya.
Surprised, I guess, that's how the round turned out when they were looking pretty good early.
Yeah, back to match point. Can they get the job this time around? Last time we saw them.
Oh, pusing, coachnya pusing.
Well,
sudah menepak tarang nih kalau bahasa Sundanya.
This time is the one in control. They have at least a rifle setup. The Odin yet again for Crystal.
Iya tuh, waduh.
This is such a crucial
Udah waduh
round.
ya kan.
Pretty much will change the fate of this.
Ntar kita lihat VCS sudah ronde berapa guys? Ye, anjing live stream Marlboro merah. Naon ya?
We've come to expect from these teams.
Udah ronde berapa deh?
Uji
udah 7-3 nih.
Gua pokoknya
Wah, masa Atil kalah, guys? Masa Atil kalah, guys ya? Itu apaan? Itu lu kayaknya pernah mencet live stream gitu deh. Jadinya nyangkut.
To be that first seed, to be the favorites of this team, we all did.
Itu BO3 ya, BO3. Magic udah live juga kah? Ada suara Magic tuh.
Pressure here for Bleed. It's victory or failure. Scars on the other hand
belum anjing.
have just been ascending again and again, courtesy of Pacific Ascension. But Bleed is the one just a step away from that win.
Wah, McTapis lagi main, guys.
The A side looking likely to be the hit. Jemkin knows
Jose lagi
he
ras.
needs to be in position to fight back against Bleed.
Berangkat.
Let's see it. Do Scars hold on?
Atil nggak main. Oh, Atil nggak main. Kenapa? Yang main siapa? Yoyo lagi.
A site, it is the Rubble. They're looking to put importance into executing Tree, trying to be taken over. Swift execute here from Blade.
Yeah, so much quicker
Boring,
here from Blade.
boring
They're
yang
picking up the pace
main.
and they want to test
Mengerikan
Scars
atuh ya.
as soon as possible.
Ada boring lebih mengerikan, guys.
Going for utility instead. Darion
Pantesan
will
tadi
take
boring
the
live streaming tuh.
Toroneko.
Last day with my
And
PC
here
gua lihat.
comes Bleed Esports. Crystal still holding
GG.
down the line, but in the scrap,
GG dong, anjing. Let's go Bleed.
win anyway. Bleed
Oh, Atil
will
trauma
make a
fake
lasting
TP langsung nggak main.
the Scars, and they will stain the
GG
record
adik-adik.
of such a stellar squad.
Anjing
And
memang
Bleed
gila ya Bleed ya.
flawless instead.
What a way to do it.
Sudah lumayan pantas kan nih masuk Pacific League. Ups.
In the group. Not giving
Sabtu
up
tuh baan.
their position just yet. And now they
Singaporean grill.
this squad with Scars to face their first loss. That's a 2-1 right now in the group stage. 4 Scars, they got another game to play. But just the way that they were able to
Mirip
bring
Joko
this
si
into
Yosi ya.
overtime, Scars, valiant effort. But it's a super team that gets the job done.
Yeah, but the way that they
Cair,
played up
cair.
against it, I think
Cair.
Scars is on the radar for so many
Bleed,
to get a
yes.
bit of redemption revenge later on against Bleed if the bracket does go that way.
Malmer.
Malmer has just been really what they've been waiting for all throughout these months. This is exactly
감사합니다.
what we're building up to with another win here in Pacific Ascension. It's just the standard that they're setting for APAC yet again.
You can tell the crowd absolutely elated here. One of the hometown heroes, of course, on this Bleed squad. But I'm just so impressed about how Scars were able to
Oke guys, karena kita tidak akan menonton match ketiga ya, kita cukup di Bleed sama ini aja ya, karena memang saya cuma niat nonton ini. Kita lanjut lagi apa namanya? VCT Ascension-nya besok itu ada boom di jam 4 ya. Nanti insya Allah gue usahain live awal deh. Kalau misalnya gue nggak nonton fancy ya bisa ranked atau apa ya. Kita lanjut nobar VCS di channelnya si Mas Nuk, oke adik-adik. Langsung aja ke semuanya ke sana. Salam dari DBangkongS, DBangkongS. Sabar anjing nge-lag goblok. Ini kenapa nih? Ya, terima kasih sekali lagi yang sudah donate, yang sudah join member. Jangan lupa masuk Discord biar gak ketinggalan. Jangan lupa juga buat adik-adik yang belum nonton konten ya, ini tolong ditonton ya. Tuh. View-nya udah sama-sama nih 2K ya kan. Yang kemarin 5K gila juga ya. TTD yang mau tompe, sampai jumpa besok adik-adik ya. Dadah. Langsung aja ke channel si Emas.
Kalah anjing. Ada Reja ya.